And good evening, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us for a very exciting three-player tutorial and playthrough, but not a review, of Nippon Zaibatsu. Not a review because this is a sponsored video. Thank you very much to Crow D Games for sponsoring this video. Nippon Zaibatsu is a new version of Nippon, which originally came out in 2015, designed by Nuno Bizarro Sentiero and Paolo Soledad, and this is coming to crowdfunding soon. I don't know exactly when, but this is a prototype copy. Now, you might be thinking, this doesn't look like a prototype copy, and it is a very nice copy of the game, but it is still a prototype. And if you want to know exactly what the final version is going to look like, make sure you check out the link in the description of this video for when the crowdfunding page goes live, and you will be able to find all of the details of that. I do know they're doing two versions of the game. I think an Emperor version, which has nicer components, and another version with slightly less nice components, but exactly the same game. Hopefully everybody can hear me and see me okay. Becky's joining me tonight, and Robert. You are both experts at this game, as in you beat me yesterday, so yeah. But yeah, we've all played the game before, so the way that tonight is going to go is I'm going to give you a bit of an overview at the start, and then we're going to explain things in more detail as we actually do them. Once you're probably about 45 minutes into the video, you will then know how to play the game. So if you're just looking to how to play the game, you don't need to watch the entire video, but we will be doing a bit of a rolling teach as we go through. So what is this? Well, it's set in the Meiji period of Japan, which was late 19th century.
Yeah.
And Japan at the time, 1870-ish, and Japan at the time was a fairly introverted nation. It was a feudal society, and it could see that the rest of the world was suddenly developing really quickly and industrializing. And Japan realized we need to do something about this. So what they did at the time is they made a decision and said, right, we're going to industrialize. And they did it, and they did it very, very quick. And suddenly all these factories popped up with machines, and yeah, they basically transformed Japan. And it's a really interesting period in Japanese history if you want to Google it and read about it on Wikipedia, because a lot of the changes that they were bringing in actually changed the whole way that Japanese society worked. And there was a lot of resistance to it, and some of the samurais rebelled against it, and there was a Satsuma rebellion. Anyway, go and read it. I find it fascinating. But this is a Euro game, but it somehow manages to capture the feel of this rapid industrialization, because the game plays at a fairly fast pace. It's going to take us about two hours, I think, today, maybe 2 hours, maybe just over. But the game always feels like it's pushing you forward, and it feels very much like it is moving at a very fast pace, which is what the designers have managed to capture, which was the feel of the period at the time. So what we are doing is we are basically trying to produce 6 different types of goods, which is paper, cotton, bento, lenses, clocks, and light bulbs. And then we are trying to supply those to the regions in Japan. We have these demand tiles, I think they're called, I'm not sure. There's 9 of them included in the game, and you only need 8 of them. And you might not think, well, that's not much variability, but it makes a huge difference. So we take one out at random, which was this one, and then the others get placed on the spaces here, turned to a random side. And we are going to be building factories, which is going to go on our player board. We are going to be powering those factories with coal to produce these goods, and we are then going to be supplying these goods to the spaces on the board. And the way that we do that is by placing our influence tokens, and then 3 times in the game there is a scoring. And when we get to a scoring part of the game, you'll notice the map is divided into 4 regions. We count the amount of influence that each player has in that region, and we allocate points. Now, you may notice that there are some pre-printed numbers on the board. That's because until the players come along with their own factories, Japan is getting all of its goods from other places. We don't want those goods from other places, so we have an overseas companies that are providing influence. It's effectively a dummy player that is going to be taking points away from us, so we need to be competing with each other, but we also need to be competing with the overseas companies that are currently providing the goods. Right, so where do we start? Turn order. Let's do turn order. Let's pick a start player at random. So start player is going to be... Come on.
I'll building the tension.
There. Pink.
Me.
Becky is the start player. So what happens is in reverse player order, we each get to choose one of these starting tiles. Now, some of you watching, and if you are watching live and you have played the original version of Nippon, let me know, because I know some people watching have definitely played the original version, including a guy in the chat called Nuno. I'm sure he's played the original version of Nippon. Thank you, Nuno, for joining us. He's one of the designers, so if you've got any questions, feel free to ask him, like, you know, the price of fish or whatever, because he knows absolutely everything. So one of the things that's new with this version is these starting tiles. And if I just press this button here, if I get the right button, we'll see. I don't think I've got the right button. I think I need to scroll up. There you go. Right. We've got starting tiles. So what we've got is we've got A's and we've got B's. And what you do is you put out sets one more than the number of players. So we have randomly chosen 4 sets, and in reverse player order, so starting with Robert, he's going to choose one of these sets. Now, the B tile tells you what resources you start with, which is a combination of money, coal, iron, and silk. And it tells you how many victory points you start with and what special ability you start with as well. And the reason why I put this tile here is because whoever chooses this one is actually going to start with a factory. So, Robert, feel free to choose which one you want. Now, you already know which one I'm going to take, but if you take it, I'll take something different.
Mm.
Any of them?
Yeah, this one's good.
Okay, so you're going to pick that one. So you straight away, you start the game with 9 points. And you start the game with a piece of machinery. We'll explain that later on, but Robert starts with a piece of machinery there. 2 coal, 9 money, 1 iron, and 2 steps up on your R&D track. I'm going to take this one because it's a bit weird and it's a bit different. And I took it last night and I came last. So we'll try again. So I start with either a paper factory or a cotton factory. And based on what's currently on the board, I'm going to start with the paper factory, and it actually comes with 1 good. I then get 2 coal. I'm just going to put my resources here. Yep, that's fine. 2 coal, 2 iron, 12 money, and 1 silk. There you go. And then you don't need those tiles after that. They can go. Which one
should have chosen first.
Becky was the first player.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that.
So it's in reverse player order.
Yeah. No, I'm just unable to make a decision. I think I might go for the train because I didn't do
Choo-choo. So that allows you immediately to build a train for free, no money, no iron, wherever you want to. And you start with 11 points. So you're winning. Awesome.
The question is where, so I've got nothing to base it
Well,
on.
while you're deciding where, I will give you a quick overview of how the game works. So what's going to happen is Becky is going to take the first turn of the game, and then I'm going to take a turn, and then Robert's going to take a turn, and then Becky, and that's it. There's no rounds as such. There's no phases or anything like that. We are just individually taking turns. But on your turn, you have 2 choices. The first thing you can do on your turn is you can do something called consolidate. Now, none of us are going to be consolidating because in order to consolidate, you need to have at least 1 worker on your player board. If you've got at least 1 worker, you are allowed to consolidate. But generally speaking, you want more workers because the more workers you have when you consolidate, generally the better it is. But you'll see why later on that might not be the case. The second thing you can do on your turn is to perform an action. So if I'm going to press this button here we go. Right, this is the core mechanism of the game. We have workers. We have 6 different coloured workers, and we have 3 workers here, 3 workers here, 3 here, 3 here, 3 here, and then in a 3-player game, we have 3 groups here. If we were playing a 4-player game, we would also fill this with workers and also fill this. The workers are in a bag, which is here. So these workers were all in a bag at the start of the game. And what happens is on your turn, it's not a worker placement game. It's the opposite of a worker placement game. It's a worker taking game, I guess. Essentially, there are 9 different actions that you can do. And if you want to do, for example, this action here, then in order to do this action, you need to take one of these 3 workers. And the colour of the worker is important, as we'll see later on. So I could, for example, on my turn, I could take this worker and say, I'm going to perform this action. And then what will happen is I will take the worker and I will put it on my player board. And you'll notice there are 6 spaces here. So after I've done 6 turns, I must then consolidate. I could consolidate even after I've taken 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. But if I start my turn with 6 workers, I have to consolidate. You'll see that later on. What happens is Yeah, Becky's going to take a turn. She's going to take one of those workers and do an action. I'm then going to take a turn, take one of the workers and do an action, etc., etc. Eventually, somebody will empty one of those spaces. And as soon as one of those spaces is empty, we refill that space with these three. And then when the next space is empty, we refill it with these three. And then when the next space is empty, we refill it with these three. And then when the next space empties, that triggers the end of the round as such. And that's where this comes in. So this is the timer of the game. So when one of these spaces empties and there are no more workers here, this marker moves on one space. And then what we do is we refill all of these to 3, and we refill these 3 rows, and then we carry on playing. The second time that happens, this marker moves to here, and we do the first scoring. And you can see here the victory points which people are going to get based on how much influence they have in the region. Whoever's got the most influence gets 10, second most gets 8, then 6, and then 2. The third time that happens, we move it to here. The fourth time it happens, we do the second scoring, but, and that shouldn't be there, that should be there, we move it to there. The fifth time it happens, we move it to here, and at that point, something special happens. At that point, we actually start a 3-turn countdown. So it's not 3 more complete rounds, it is literally 3 more turns, and then the end of the game. So you can always see when the end of the game is, even though it always seems to catch people out. Even though you can all see it coming, when it does happen, you're like, oh my God, I've only got 3 turns left. And it's like, yes. So that's the overall flow of the game. And the rest of it, I think we'll explain as we're doing it. So, Becky, which action would you like to do first? And then we'll explain that action.
Okay, so I would like to increase, I would say knowledge.
R&D?
Wrong.
I think it's called R&D. Oh, you start with 2 spaces on the mining track.
I hoped I did. Was I wrong? Yes, I do. It was on the starter tile.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So, let's have a look at the actions. So, Becky is going to choose this action here, and she can either spend 1 money. So if you see a number in red, that means spend. Spend 1 money to increase her R&D by 1, or spend 3 to increase it by 2, or spend 6 to increase it by 3. And you take one of those workers and you pop it on your player board.
So I'm going to take the grey worker.
And you'll see why Becky's chosen grey later. I'm assuming it's not at random. I assume you've got a plan.
No, it was for a reason.
So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you my player board, even though it's Becky that's doing this. This is a player board. We all have the same player board, and you have 3 tracks. You have an R&D track, you have a coal mining track, and you have a money income track. Now the R&D is really important because one of the things we're going to be doing in the game is we're going to be building factories. And factories come in 3 different levels, level 2, level 4 and level 6. And in order to build a factory, your R&D needs to be of the sufficient level. So right now, my R&D is only level 1, which means I cannot build a factory at the moment. As soon as I increase my R&D to level 2, I am then allowed to build a level 2 factory. Now I say I can't. There is something in the game called Silk. Silk is a new resource from this version of the game, and whenever you are building a factory, you may spend Silk to temporarily boost your R&D level. So me saying I'm at R&D level 1, I can't build a factory was a lie, because I actually have a Silk. So if I wanted to build a factory right now, I could spend a Silk. I don't move the marker, I just temporarily increase my R&D level to 2, and then I can build a level 2 factory. You'll also notice as your R&D marker moves up, it triggers various bonuses if you land on or pass those spaces, but we'll see that when we happen. So are you going to spend 1, 3 or 6?
I'm going to spend 3.
3 money. Money's very, very tight in this game.
Yeah,
Painfully tight.
I thought about using the Silk when I buy a factory, but I figure I might as well do it the more
so you spend 3
sustainable
money.
way. And I'm going to go up 2 in the white track. So I don't get any bonuses, but I am now a level 2.
Becky's R&D level is now 2. And that's it. The actions in this game, most of them are actually relatively simple. It's just the order in which you put them all together. Now, I've been spending my time teaching you how to play, and I haven't even thought at all about what I want to do. The question is, do I want to spend my Silk to build a quick factory right now? Or do I want to do something with this? I've also noticed you've got a train on the board.
Yes,
Right,
that
okay.
was the other starting tile.
So this starting factory that I've got is actually quite interesting. This is a new thing. It's a factory, but it's closed down. Obviously, it's old stuff and it doesn't work anymore. It's got some paper in it and it's taking up a space, but I can never run this factory anymore. So I've got some paper in a warehouse, but yeah, I can't do anything with this factory from now on. Silk has replaced the blueprints. Yes, Brian, Silk has replaced blueprints, but also Silk can be used as money. So if you're ever short on money, you can use Silk. What am I going to do? Do I want to buy? Do I want to do that? Do I want to do that? I mean, I could put 2 trains out. If I really wanted to. That would mean I've then got no money to actually do anything, which does seem a little bit weak. Yeah, I'll tell you what, I think I am. I think I am going to build a factory. Okay, so the building a factory is this action here. And it always costs 6 money, but you've got to have the R&D level. Now, which of those workers am I going to take? I'm going to take this one. This is a blue worker, so I'm going to put the blue worker there like that. Now, the factories, we've got them laid out here. So there are 6 different types of factories: paper, cotton, bento, lenses, clocks, and light bulbs. And what you do is you actually choose, there are 4 levels of factory, and I believe the final version of the game is going to come with a B side of each factory as well. We're just using the A sides because that's all I've got. But you're supposed to choose 1 factory per, what am I trying to say? 1 factory per player. And then there are these factories. These have got a little number 5 on them. It isn't recommended that you use these for your first game, but we're going to use these tonight. So we've actually got 4 factories of each type. What each one does is explained in this player's handbook, which is really good, and you will need to refer to this as you are playing it. But these are level 2. The bento and the lenses are level 4, and the clocks and the light bulbs are level 6. So I'm going to spend my silk to temporarily boost my R&D level to 2, which means I can buy any of these. Right, well, let's have, I mean, that's quite nice, isn't it? That's the one you had yesterday, and it was really good.
Yes, it
it was really good, wasn't it? Okay, I'm going to take this one. Okay, so I'm going to put this one on here. This is my second factory. You can only have a maximum of 6 factories in the game, and you can never knock down a factory once you've built it. Because it has the lightning bolt on, it has an immediate ability. So I immediately gain 3,000 yen, and this means that I move my money income up 1 space. And you might be wondering, well, when do I get this money and when do I get this coal? This is when you consolidate. So your monetary income and your coal income only apply when you consolidate, that we are going to see later on. But that's it. I took my action. I don't think I even spent my 6 money. Spent my 6 grand, bought a factory, put it there, job done. Robert, what do you want to do?
I want to build a factory too.
Okay, well, we've seen this action.
You built the one that I wanted to build. I'm going to take this blue guy to do the build a factory action. I put him there. And I have to spend 6 money.
You choose a factory. I'll answer the question from Finn in the chat. Yes, and that is a rules change from the previous version.
So
you are allowed to have multiple factories producing the same type of good now. You didn't used to be able to, but in this version you can. Which one do you want?
Yeah, I could have that one. That one produces money when it produces.
Yes, when it produces money. Now, at this point, we're going to tell you about this piece of machinery. The rule in the game is that the action to buy machinery, you can only do that if you have a factory where that machinery can go. But there is an exception to this, which is Robert's starting tile, wherever it was.
It was.
Yep, that one. So Robert's starting tile says he starts the game with a piece of machinery. So what he does is he puts it on that space there, and then the first factory that he builds, that machinery immediately goes into that factory. But normally, you cannot buy the machinery if you don't have a factory to put it in. Now, what the machinery does is it means that if we look at my machine, for example, and I'm just going to press a button here and I hope it's the right one. It's not the right one. I'm going to press another button. There you go. When I run this factory by spending 2 coal, I produce 1 good. If I had a piece of machinery here, then it still cost me 2 coal, but I would get 2 goods. And if I had a second piece of machinery, which costs 1 iron, then when I run, I would get 3 goods. So it's all about increasing the efficiency of your factories by putting machinery into them, so that when you run them, you get more production out of it. But that's it. We've all had a turn. Back to Becky.
Okay.
Are you building a factory by any chance?
I am, yeah.
It's what it's all about. Hi, Stevie. Stevie's in Las Vegas Airport. Thank you for joining in.
Will the Western viewers know what a bento is?
Maybe not. Do you want to explain
I know, because a bento is basically a lunch thing. It's like a tray or a box with little bits of sushi and rice and things.
Yeah.
And so if you're a commuter, or if you work a long way away from where you live, then it's quite a handy way to get some lunch.
Yeah.
So if Japan's industrializing, that probably meant lots of people
Right.
going to places where they didn't
need
live
it. Yeah.
to work. I
mean, we don't know the Japanese culture that much, but yeah, if you look at the picture of bento, it is, and I assume at the time it was like a wooden box with lots of compartments.
You can still get it in a wooden box.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
I only learned what the word bento was in 2015. When the first version of this game came out, and I went, what the heck's bento? I had no idea, but now I do.
Yeah. Okay, I am going to build a factory.
So you're having to take this worker.
I am, yes.
And the colour of the worker you take is important. So if Becky really didn't want that worker, she'd be thinking, oh, do I do a different action and then maybe come back to that later on? But you knew that me and Robert were probably not going to build again.
I don't have too many colours yet, so it's not too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that road refills right now, or at the end of my turn, I don't know. So I had decided. Oh, so did you both build paper?
We both build paper.
So I decided I was going to build paper and figured you might do cotton, because that's what you did yesterday. So, which is frustrating though, because I had decided on the paper factory I was going to build.
Well, you can have the same one as you had yesterday.
I'm going to try not to do that.
It's really good.
I know, I just don't. No, I'm going to do something different.
Okay.
But what is the question?
Like
so with the do we even have that one out?
This one?
Yeah.
4A's out. Whenever you consolidate, if you place one of your favour tokens, you can spend 1 money to move 1 space up on the R&D
So
track.
you'd have cleared the money at your end of the turn. It would be one of your new money, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, the other one's so much better. No. Yeah, let's go for the one I had yesterday.
This one? Right. So this factory doesn't have an immediate ability like mine did, but what it says is that every time Becky chooses this action, the R&D action that she did earlier, she will get an extra boost on the track. And that's it. You're done. So yes, at the end of Becky's turn, because that was empty, we then move all of those to there, and you can see how the time is ticking on. Right. What am I going to do? Am I going to build some pieces of machinery? Yes. I think I am. So I am going to choose...
How much money did you start with?
Well, I started... Where's my money? Make sure I'm not cheating. I think I started with 12.
Yeah.
But then I built the factory that gained me another 3, so that was 15, and I spent 6, so I should have 9, which I have 9. Yeah, not cheating. Right, so I'm going to take this worker here, and I'm going to perform this action. So this action allows me to build 1, 2, or 3 pieces of machinery, and each one costs 5 money. Now, I only have 9 money, so I'm going to spend 5, and the machinery comes off my player board and goes straight into the factory. So if we just have a look at my player board, I have removed my first piece of machinery. Now you'll notice that there are some icons here and here. That means if I was to now build my ship, I would gain this. So you only gain this bonus if you have removed the pieces on either side of this icon. So I don't get any immediate bonus for removing that, but it does mean that when I run this factory, I am going to generate 2 paper instead of 1. Right, that's my go done. Oh no, where's the worker? The worker's there.
Okay, I'm going to take this white worker to do that.
You're running your factory.
Run my factory.
This is probably the most important action in the game because it's all about running your factories. You can run 1, 2, or 3 different factories. So later in the game, when we're going to have multiple factories, you can run up to 3 of them, but you cannot run the same factory twice. For each one, you have to spend coal that's printed on the factory, and you generate goods. Now, these level 2 factories all cost 2 coal to run. The level 4 factories cost 3 coal to run, and the level 6 factories cost 4 coal to run. You only have a paper factory. You've got 2 coal.
2 coal.
So you put the 2 coal in, and because you've got some machinery, you get 2 goods. Each factory can have a maximum of 4 goods. You can't go above that. Right, back to you, Becky.
Okay. Well, I did want to run my factory, but I really don't want a third colour of worker.
Okay.
I forgot.
Go on.
When I run my factory.
Oh, yes. You get 2 money. Yeah. So, yeah, this is where the colour's important, and you'll see why when we consolidate, but Becky's very nervous about taking a third different colour of worker. So although she wants to do this action, she doesn't want this worker. But am I going to run my factory next? You know I am. I've got me 2 coal. I've just built the machinery, so you know I am going to. But I also don't want a third.
It's just
colour
whether I have anything to do in the meantime.
Yeah.
The colours I currently have, everything they do except that costs money, and I can't do a contract. I don't think I've got much else to do, but I'll end up with. There's not much point in me consolidating now because then I just lose the coal. So, unless I do that, is that bonkers? I could use my silk for money just to put. All the other workers are coming out in a different colour.
Exactly, yeah. I'm just going to check that I do have the link to the crowdfunding page in the description of this video. Yes, I do. So there is a link to the upcoming Kickstarter page in the description of this video. I thought I'd put it there.
Spending 2 coal to gain 1 good because I don't have any machinery on my factory.
Okay, so you've got some cotton and that space is empty, so these move in. And now it's my go. Right, well, I wanted to run my factory and thankfully
you've
put that there. So I'm going to take the white worker, put it on there. I'm going to spend my 2 coal, and because I've got some machinery, I get 2 paper. Right, back to you, Robert.
To get, it's if you're at level 4, where you get the bonuses from the first and the last.
Correct.
Yeah, so I think I will.
That's why the spaces are colour coded. So if you consolidate with the worker there, you won't get the bonus for that.
Right. Yeah.
And remember, you can consolidate even if you've just got 1 worker. And there are times when you might want to do that, but I think it's quite rare. You're going to do the big action. Okay. This is the most important action in the game. Even though I just said that's the most important action, this is more important. So this action is how you supply goods to Japan. And it's actually the most complicated action in the game. So I'm going to need a little bit of time to explain this one. First of all, you have to choose 1 region on the board, only 1 of the regions, and you can place 1, 2, or 3 influence markers. Now, the influence markers are these. Everybody starts with a set of influence markers, which is numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And what you do is you work out which type of good you're sending, you work out how many of that good you're sending, and it tells you which influence marker you can place. So, for example, Robert has 2 paper. So he has 2 paper, which means he can place his number 2 influence marker if he wants to. If he wanted to, he could just spend 1 influence and place his number 1. Now, if he had 3 paper, this is where he really has options. He could have placed a 3, or he could place a 1 and a 2 if he wanted to. So essentially, Robert has 2 paper. Do you want to place a 1 influence marker, or do you want to place a number 2 influence marker?
I'm going to do a 1.
He's going to spend number 1. So where is that influence marker going to go? Well, we need to look at the board itself. So the board is divided into 4 regions, and I'm just showing you 2 of the regions here. And as I mentioned at the start, these were placed randomly, and these determine where you can place your markers. So for example, Robert has an influence marker of 1 on paper, which means he can put it here next to this paper, or here next to this paper, or here next to this paper, or next to any of the other ones on the board. Now, the number here represents the current influence of the overseas companies. And Japan will always prefer homemade goods rather than ones brought in from overseas. So you are allowed to place a lower number, or even a number of the same value, over this. Now, for example, Robert could put that here. And that means he is now supplying the paper to this particular area rather than the overseas companies. Once that number 1 is there, if somebody else wanted to come along, they can't put a number 1 on that space. They would have to put a number 2, at which point Robert would get that back. And you are even allowed to replace your own influence markers if you want to. So right now, if Robert was to put that there, he would have 1 influence in this region. The overseas companies have still got 10. So they're currently winning, but over the course of the game, these overseas numbers are going to get removed. Now, the other thing that you get every time you place an influence marker on the board, you get the region bonus. So this region bonus is 2 silk, this region bonus is 2 iron, this region bonus is 2 coal, and if we just go over here, this region bonus is 3 money. So where would you like to place?
I would like to take the 2 silk, please, Paul.
So you're going here.
Yeah,
and you immediately get 2 silk. You want the silk.
I've got no silk, so
right. Okay, so you get 2
one way
silk.
of getting it.
And that's that. So this was the region that Robert chose. He was allowed to place up to 3 influence markers in the same region, but he just placed the 1. In fact, you could only place the 1. Your only choice was, did you want to go in there with the 2 instead of the 1? But you've chosen to go in there with the 1. There's a reason why Robert has kept that good back. I don't know the reason. Probably for a contract, but we'll see that soon. Right. Back to you. Oh, yes.
Right. So,
what you going to do?
I think I'm going to supply. Do the same thing.
The same thing. So do you want a white worker or a yellow worker?
Oh gosh.
Yeah, it's your 4th colour.
I think that's one too many colours.
It might be. You could consolidate early.
I could, but that seems such a pity.
How much money in coal have you got?
Absolutely nothing. Yes, but I'd only get 3 money if I do it now.
You get 3 money and 3 coal. And
Yeah.
you'd get 2 iron as well.
I would. Yeah.
It's up to you. Yeah, what's your other option? Are there any other actions that you...
No, I'm going to consolidate.
Okay, so Becky's consolidating, which means we get to explain what that works. Now, the most important thing about consolidating is when you consolidate, if you have any money, you lose it. You lose all of your money. If you have any coal, you lose all of your coal. That's why I asked Becky how much coal and money she had. She has no money and no coal, so she doesn't lose anything.
Yeah.
Then she gains an amount of money based on her income track, which is 12.
Yeah.
But you then have to pay the salary of your workers, and this is where the colour comes in. Every different colour of worker costs you 3,000 yen. So Becky has 3 different coloured workers, which means out of that 12 money that she's made, she only gets 3. Money is really tight in this game.
Yes, that's unfortunate. So that's the money.
That's the money. Then you get your coal income. So your coal income track is 3. So you get 3 coal.
Yeah.
Now, I'm now going to tell you something for those people who've played the original version of the game. This is also new. When you consolidate, the worker at the bottom gives you a department bonus depending on the colour of the worker. So Becky has a grey worker in her bottom position, which means she's going to immediately gain 2 iron for consolidating. She has 3 workers. If you consolidate when you have 3 workers, that's it. You just get the bonus of the bottom one. But if you consolidate when you have 4, 5 or 6 workers, you also get the department bonus for the top one. So right now, if I consolidate, I would only get this department bonus. But if I had that there and I consolidate, I would get this department bonus and this one. And if I consolidated when I had this, I would get that department bonus and that one. So you only get the bottom one and the top one, and you only get the top one if you had 4 or more when you consolidate. Now, there's something else that's really important when you consolidate as well, but that also only applies if you have 4 or more workers. So we'll see that soon as well.
Yeah.
But I think you're done. And then the workers go back in the bag.
Hopefully.
And that is your turn. That is a consolidation turn. Right, my go. I think I might be supplying, but mine's slightly different because I actually do have 3 paper.
Yes.
Because I started with this one.
Right.
So yeah, mine is a little bit different. So I'm going to take this worker here. I'm going to put it on there, and I am going to supply 3 paper. Now, where am I going to supply it to? I'm going to supply it to this region here. So I've got choices. I could put my number 3 influence out on paper, which is the highest influence you can have for paper, which means it's never going to be replaced. Or I could spend 1 paper to put a 1 out and 2 paper to put a 2 out, and I could put them on 2 different spaces. Or I could put my 1 out and then I could immediately replace it with my 2. Why would I want to do that? Well, I would get double the region bonuses because I placed 2 markers, and I would get my 1 back, which means I can then place it again somewhere else later on. I don't know what to do. I think I'm going to do the thing where I get a 1 out and then 2. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put number 1 here because that's paper. Number 1, I get 2 iron. And then I'm going to spend my other 2 paper to put my number 2 out and get rid of my number 1, go there and get 2 more iron.
How are you better off than if you put it on both of the paper?
Because I've now got my number 1 back.
Yes, of course.
And because the designers are evil, they have only given you 1 number 1. Trust me, when you first play this game and you build a factory and you generate a good and then you put your number 1 out and then you generate some more goods and you're like, I'm going to put some more goods out. And you're like, oh, I can't because I've only got 1. So yeah, it's, it will catch you out the first time you play the game. Thankfully, we've both built a machine at the start. So straight away, we're able to place our 2. But yeah, you only have 1 number 1.
And I'm about to use that.
Right, I think that's it. I did that action. I put that, yeah. Right, Robert.
So I wanted to upgrade my coal.
Okay.
So I'll take
coal
one
mining.
of these
Yep.
white
Let's
workers.
show this. So this is very, very similar to this. Robert can spend 1 money to move his mining track up by 1, 3 money for 2, or 6 money for 3. And the mining track essentially means that when you consolidate, you're going to get more coal. There are some other bonuses on the track as well.
Yeah, I'm going to spend 3 money to go up 2
2
on
spaces.
the coal track.
Right. Becky.
Okay. I'm going to supply.
Okay, so
I
that
have
one.
no choice but the yellow guy.
Yeah.
Which is not the bonus of interest.
And you've got 1 cotton.
Just the 1 good.
So it is your 1 influence marker. But where would you like to place it?
So, given I have very little money, that is not the one I should be picking up. Influence marker. I'm going to put it in. Oh, I'm torn. So there's no cotton in the region of
There's
remote
no
training,
cotton in this region at all.
which I now realise was the other reason I was thinking paper. So I desperately want money, so I'm going to go over here. They've both got a 2 on them, so that doesn't.
And you
make
get 3
any
money
difference.
as the region bonus.
Yeah.
And
there we
Becky is
go.
now supplying
Double
cotton to
with
that region.
Dosh.
And now we have an empty space here, so this goes in. Now, we don't trigger the end of the round yet. It's only when the space empties the next time. So I could consolidate now if I wanted to, but I do have 4 money. And I don't think I want to consolidate just yet. So what I'm going to do is, that's there. Ooh, tell you what I'm going to do. Oh, you'll like this. I'm going to build a ship. So, I hadn't planned to do this, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to take this worker and I'm going to do this action here. So with this action, I can build 1, 2, or 3 ships. They have to be on different locations. Each ship that you build costs either 5 money and 1 iron, or it costs 3 iron. So, I could build 2 ships with this action. And I think I'm going to, because I have 6 iron. So I'm going to spend 6 iron. Wow. And I'm going to build 2 ships. So if we just have a look at my player board, I have just built the first 2 ships from here. What that means is I have unlocked this bonus, which means my monetary income goes up by 1. I'm going to explain what this does in a minute as well. But these ships are going to go on the Iwakuru mission, which, again, if you want to Google it and read about it, it's fascinating. But Japan, between, I think, 1861 and 1872, sent off a whole load of ships on a diplomatic mission to America to start building up ties and things like that. But we've also on here, and I've got a button for this. I think I've got a button for this. Yes, I do. Right. We've actually got New York, San Francisco, Washington, Paris, London, and Berlin. because I built 2 ships, they've got to go to different regions. But each one I go to is going to do 2 things for me. And in fact, I can't do this. Oh no!
Space.
Right,
You can go once.
I can go one. I'm building 1 ship. Right, and I'm building 1 ship, and it's actually going to go to Berlin. So what happens is, the first time you go to a new location, you take the department upgrade bonus. You only get this once, because once you've upgraded the department, you can't upgrade it again. But you also get the expert worker. And I'll explain why I wasn't able to build 2 ships, is because that expert worker counts as a worker. And you can only do that if you've got space for it on your player board. So I wasn't able to build 2 ships because each one would have meant that I would have gained an extra worker and I didn't have space for it. The department upgrade is essentially upgrading this department. So this department here is now upgraded to there. And if you look at my list of workers, I've got 1 blue worker and these are all white. So this is an expert worker tile. Now, while that expert worker tile has been removed from here, nobody else can go to Berlin. My diplomats are currently in discussion with the people of Berlin, which means nobody else, neither of the other players can send a diplomatic mission to Berlin. When I consolidate, that expert worker is going to go back to Berlin and then somebody can go there. Now, I could go there again if I really wanted to. I'd get the expert worker tile again, but I wouldn't get the department bonus again. So we'll see whether it's worth it. That's it. I did that. I built the ship. And on my next turn, I have to consolidate. I have 6 workers. Right, Robert, your go. Oh, which means I'm going to lose the money. Rats.
Are you sure?
Yeah, done it. It's fine.
Did you take back your iron then?
I did. Yeah.
Okay,
You don't lose your iron when you consolidate. You don't lose your iron and you don't lose your silk. You only lose your money and your coal. And for those people wanting to know if the game is going to have a solo mode, It is. I have the solo components over there. I've not tried the solo mode yet, but it is going to come with the solo mode.
I would like to take this guy to go up the coal track. So that means I'm going to spend some money. Haven't got much money.
You've only got £2,000, but you can use silk as if it was money.
So yeah, I was hoping to keep the silk for something else.
You can. You can just spend 1 for 1.
So I just spend 1 money to go up 1 on the coal track.
Yep.
But that does mean I cover up this symbol.
So Robert has just landed his marker on this icon. This icon means that he gets his department bonus for iron, which at the moment is 2. So Robert is going to get 2 iron just for landing there. Right, back to Becky.
Okay, I am building another factory.
Okay, so that's this icon.
And I'd like to do that with the red worker. Thank you.
Your R&D level is 2.
Yes, you're right. It is, isn't it?
You could boost it to 3 with the silk, but
no, I've done this out of order. Sorry, I'm going to have to go back.
Okay, yeah.
What I'm going to do is use
that one first.
Yeah, I'm going to stick to yellow.
Okay.
Not that it particularly matters.
So you're boosting your R&D.
Yes, I'm boosting it by 1.
So
I'm
that costs
paying
1
for 1.
But you get a bonus of 1, so it actually goes up by 2.
Yes, 1, 2. So
Yeah, and that's triggered
3.
your department bonus for coal.
Yep.
Which gets you 2 coal.
And then we'll come back to the factory.
And then you can do the factory in a minute. Right. So I have to consolidate because I've started my turn. I have 6 workers here. So let's consolidate. First thing is I lose all of my money and I lose all of my coal. I don't have any coal, so that's fine. But then I get 14 money and I only have 2 different colours of workers.
Yeah, 3. Oh, no, sorry. I keep thinking
that's white.
Grey.
That is white. So, yeah, so I get 14, but I spend 6. Which means I get 8,000 yen. That's right, isn't it? Yeah, 8,000 yen. I also get the department bonus for the one at the bottom, which is 3,000 yen. And because I have at least 4, I get the department bonus of the top worker, which is white, which is this. So this is a boost on either the R&D track or the coal track. And because I've got 2, I can either have 2 on 1 or 1 on each. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to have 2 bumps on the R&D track. What happens next? Oh, then this part of the game. Right, now let's talk about end of game scoring, because we've talked about the scoring during the game, which is on this here, when this marker moves to here, and then when it moves to here, and then here. But there is end of game scoring as well. Now, you are going to score at the end of the game for your ships, your machines, your trains, your R&D, your mining level, your money income, your factories, and the contracts that you have fulfilled, which is a part of the game that we've not seen yet. And you will score based on how many of those things you've done, but only if it has one of these favour markers on. And you only get to place a favour marker when you consolidate if you have 4, 5, or 6 workers. So because I've consolidated when I have 6 workers, I get to place this. This is the best one. This is a fully open flower, and I want to put this on the thing that I think I'm going to do the most of. And right at this point of the game, I have absolutely no idea. But this is one of those games which is a little bit like a sandbox game, in that you have full control over your end of game scoring conditions. If I've decided I'm going to build lots of ships in this game, then I want to put this on the ship track, because then it'll be worth loads of points. If I then decide not to build any more ships, this was a bit of a waste. Somebody tell me where I should put this, because I didn't do this well last night, so I'm not sure. What am I going to be doing the most of? I don't know at this stage.
You're probably going to do fairly well on the white track if you want to build anything.
You think, oh, because of this?
Factory. Oh, and that, yeah. Just, I think everyone usually gets
to
5.
It's easy for you, because with your boost, you're definitely going to get your R&D track to the end. Okay, I'm going to put it on the R&D track. So let's explain how this scoring works at the end of the game. Because I've put this large flower here, if we have a look, yeah, you can see it. So if my R&D marker ends up here at the end of the game, well, between here and here, then it means I'm going to get 10 points at the end of the game. If I'd have put the medium flower, I'd have got 8, and if I'd have put the small one, I'd have got 5. If I don't put any favour token here, you don't get any points for it, even if it reaches the end. Because I've got the large flower there, if I manage to get that marker to here, then I'm actually going to get 20 points at the end of the game. So this is a real incentive for me to get this marker here. And just to give you an idea, the game that we played of this last night, you two both scored about 230-ish. I think you were ahead by about 4 points in the end. I scored about 215. So that's roughly the scores that we got. Now, Nuno will tell us if that's a good score for a 3-player game or not. I don't know. But yeah, a 20-point bonus for an end-of-game thing is actually quite a lot. That's potentially 10% of my score. But that means I really need to get this moving up.
And you might build more factories than more factories. I started with a factory.
Exactly. So the expert worker goes back to Berlin, and now these go back in the bag. And that's my consolidation over. Robert, are you going to consolidate, or are you going to go for
I think I'm going to export.
Worker?
Well, I'd like to export some iron. I've got some iron, and I've got a contract.
You have a contract
to export 3 iron. But if I do that,
it's a grey
I'll be
worker.
picking up a grey worker, so then I'll be spending some of my money.
Yeah.
So maybe I won't. Maybe I'll consolidate now.
Okay, you are going to consolidate.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've only got 2 colours of workers.
Yeah. You lose all your money. You lose all your coal. Right.
Got no coal.
You get 12 money minus 6. So
Yeah.
you get 6 money. But then your bottom worker is blue, so you get an extra 3. And then your top worker, because you have 4 or more, is white, which gets you 1 boost on either the R&D track or the coal mining track. Oh, and you're also going to get 3 coal. But if you boost that to 4, you'd get 4 coal.
That would be really good.
Yeah.
That would be so good.
Okay, so you get 4 coal.
Lovely.
And then, because you've got 5 workers, you get to place this favour token.
But if you boosted the white, you'd have got your coal benefit. So
I would have done. Yeah.
True.
I'm hoping to get that soon.
I'm
going to get that soon anyway, yeah.
So, I'm doing quite well on the coal track so far.
Yeah.
I'm hoping
really
to do well on this track as well. So, yeah, let's go there. I'm hoping to do well on this track.
Okay. You'll go.
Yes. So I've realised I miscounted, and
Oops.
I need this silk as both a money and to boost my 3 to a 4. So I'm going to do something different.
You're going to do a contract?
Yes.
I mean, this is an action we've not seen.
It also means I'm going to take that last worker.
Yeah. So this is the contract action. With this action, you can fulfill 1, 2, or 3 contracts. You're seeing a theme here. And for each contract, you have to spend the resources indicated on the left, and you get the bonus indicated on the right. Contracts. That is the 8 things which each of us have to the side of our player board. Everybody starts with the same 8 contracts, and you can see what you need to spend on the left-hand side and what bonus you get on the right-hand side. Now, just a note about the contracts. If you see this is 2 separate goods. They need to be different. So it cannot be 1 cotton and 1 cotton. It would have to be 2 different goods, which means this contract is really hard to do because you need 2 of one type, 1 of another type, and 1 of another type. And you can do up to 3 contracts with 1 action. You're just going to do 1 contract?
I can only do the 1, yeah.
Okay,
so I'm going to trade in 2 coal and 1 iron to get 5 money.
5 money. And the completed contracts tuck in underneath your player board. So you've got 6 slots for contracts. And the more contracts you fulfill, the more points you will get at the end of the game, as long as you have a favour token here.
I put this favour token on the coal because I realise it's not the large size. I wanted to put a large size one there.
Oh, so you're saving
that's only a medium size. So I'm saving that space to put a large one.
Yeah. Okay. And you're all done?
Yeah.
Right.
No, I didn't take a worker, so not because I took the worker.
Well, that's it. So we have the end of the round. Yeah. So this space is now empty, and these spaces are empty. So we move along.
Oh yeah, we don't score yet.
We don't score yet, but we are now halfway to the first scoring round. So then what we do is we're going to refill these spaces back up so that they have 3 workers each. I'm going to lie them down, and then we want 3 in here. And then we want 2 in here. And then we're going to start refilling these spaces. And again, because we're a 3-player game, we only fill the top 3 rows. And then we carry on playing. And that's it. And then, when that happens again, we're going to do a scoring round. And the first scoring round is always very low scoring because we don't have much influence on the board. But if you stick with us for this video, by the end of it, this board will be covered in our markers. Or at least it was last night. So, right, what am I going to do? I've got 11 grand. My R&D is at 2. I only have a paper factory. Could do that. Why don't I have any coal? I should have 2 coal because I consolidated. So I should have 2 coal. So I could run this factory again. Oh, I don't know. Don't really good. I was going to do that. That didn't do that. I need to look at the colours because the colours might determine which action I actually want to do next. So I think I might build another ship. Can I build 2 ships? Yes, I can. I can actually build 2 ships this time. Right. So we're going to do it. Which 2 ships do we want? I'm going to take the blue worker. So the first ship I'm going to build is going to cost me 5 grand and an iron. And then the second ship I'm going to build is going to cost me 5 grand and an iron. So I'm building 2 ships. The first ship is going to London. So that increases my department bonus for money to 5 and gets me the blue expert worker. And then I'm also going to take to Paris. So we're not going to America at all, even though that was what the recurring mission was. We're going to improve my department bonus for coal. And we're going to take this black expert worker. So straight away, with 1 action, I've got 3 workers. And I've removed 3 ships from here. But I don't get this bonus because I haven't removed this piece of machinery. But I also now only have 1 grand. But I'm happy with that. I built 3 ships. That's cool. Alex says, how well does it play at 2? I remember playing the original game with 2. And it was even faster paced. I think with 2, you only use either 2 rows of workers, maybe even 1, but it just goes so quick. Yeah, I think this part is probably not quite as interesting with 2, but this is not the finished version of the game. They are still working on some little tweaks. I do know that in a 3-player game, you cannot use all 4 spaces. So one of these spaces is not used, but we don't know which space it is. Basically, as soon as 3-player markers are around a tile, we block off the 4th one. And I think in a 2-player game, I think you can only have 2. Nuno will confirm that. And yes, I definitely played the original game on the channel because I did the how to play video for the original game 9 years ago. If you want to go and look at a much younger me, then 9 years ago I did the how to play video for the original version of the game. Can't believe it's been so long.
It seems time
for me
to build a factory.
A factory, okay.
And it's going to be a bento factory.
Your R&D level is 2.
Yes.
But you're going to boost it with silk?
I am.
Okay.
Yeah. So the bento...
So he's going to boost his R&D level from 2 to 4 by spending silk. And which one of those bento factories do you want to build?
I've got 2 on that. That's pretty good.
It is.
So that one means I go up. First I spend 6 money.
Yep. 2 spaces up on the coal mining.
You've taken my...
Yep. Took your silk. Stole it.
That's 2 spaces, and I gain...
Your department bonus for points. He's got points. He'll never catch on.
Okay.
But, importantly, you have a bento factory, and neither me or Becky are producing bento, so that gives Robert the opportunity to produce some and put it on the board, and we can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I'm also going to build a factory, but luckily I had set
Black
on
or blue?
Blue. So put that there.
Which one?
I think.
So your R&D level is 3.
Yes, so I'm boosting it to 4 with
Okay.
1 silk.
So, and you're building a lens factory.
Yes.
Which one do you want?
I am torn between almost every single one of them.
So the lens factories are all about trains.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go for the first one where I build 1 train for free and advance 1 track on the one on the finance track.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, now Becky's already got 1 train on the board. She can put a 2nd train in the same region if she wants to. What trains do is very simply they add 2 influence to that region, but only if you have influence already in that region. So if you imagine thematically that trains are being used to transport your goods around, if you don't have any goods, they're not going to do anything.
Yeah, so that one's currently not helping.
That train
me.
is currently not doing anything.
And
It's got a day off.
but maybe it will be in a minute. So just doing some quick maths, and that would not help. I'm going to play it in the region I've got my massive 1 point in.
Okay, so you put a train in there. If we lay them down actually, because they look a bit nicer. And normally a train will cost either 5,000 and 1 iron or 3 iron, but that factory says build it for free. Right, I realise I took the wrong one there. I shouldn't have gone there. I should have done something different, but it's fine. Because now I've only got £1,000 and...
Oh, I should pay for my factory.
Probably should.
Yeah, there we
It's
go.
only fair. Yeah, this £1,000 is not actually that useful to me. So... Oh, I have completely messed this up.
A lot of that yesterday.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I need black or blue. There's a blue there. Is there a contract? Can I do something? Oh, yeah, I could do that. That kind of works. Okay, let's have a change of plan. Let's take this blue worker and let's do a contract. I'm going to do the same contract you did, which was 2 coal, 1 iron, which immediately gets me £5,000.
Very handy.
And that's that contract done. Okay, Robert.
I feel like going up on the R&D track. I've got 3 colours I could pick. So let's have another red. So I can spend 3 money to go 2 steps.
Yep.
On the R&D.
And you immediately pass that space, so you get your coal department bonus.
Which is what I actually wanted.
Which is 2 coal. So, curious to know, for those people that are watching live, what are your initial thoughts on the game so far? We have been through all of the actions pretty much, and you've seen probably 2/3 of the rules of the game. You've seen consolidating, you've seen completing contracts. You haven't seen the first scoring yet, but I'm just curious to know what your initial thoughts on the game are. This is where Nuno writes, I think the game's really good. Everybody should go out and buy it. Right.
I'm basically just going to try and use my resources before I refresh, consolidate so I don't waste them. So I've got 3 coal, so I need to produce a good. We're going to use the grey guy.
And you're going to produce. Now you've only got 3 coal.
Yes, it was going to be 5 before I miscounted and had to use it on the contract, which would have meant I could do both.
Right.
But unfortunately now it's just the 1 good on 1 factory.
Oh, but it costs 3 coal, so you're not losing any coal by doing
No.
it. But you've now got some lenses. Now, if we just have a look at lenses, even 1 lens is placing a 3 influence on the board. So, already it's as good as 3 paper is. Right, my go. I've got blue and black. There is a black that I can take, but I don't have the iron. I could build a factory. Let's build a factory. I'm going to take that. I'm going to put it there. I'm going to spend 6 grand. My R&D level is 2. Now, these new rules allow you to have more than 1 factory of the same type. Do I go for paper even more?
An interesting choice.
It would be an interesting choice. Did you go cotton in the end? You didn't.
No, I've got paper.
I've got to go cotton.
You've got cotton.
No, you don't have to go cotton.
The voices in my head. The chat's telling me I've got to go for cotton.
Is it though?
It is. So I've built that. I spend my 6 grand. I needed an R&D level of 2, and the immediate bonus is silk. Now, the great thing about silk is when you consolidate, you don't lose it.
Mm-hmm.
Alex says it's got trains in it. He's sold.
It has trains in it. It absolutely has trains in it. Yeah. Choo choo. Right, that's me done. That space is empty, so those go on there. The countdown for the first scoring is soon.
That's something I wanted to do. I know what I wanted to do. I wanted to take this red guy. So I've only got 1 colour of people so far. If I pick this red guy, it means I can do contracts.
Yep.
Yeah.
How many contracts do you want to do?
I want to.
It's the same one that we've done. It is an easy one.
That's a pretty good one. And can I do anything else? I can't do this one as well.
No.
Um,
There's 2 you can do, but you can only do 1 of those 2.
I'll do this one.
You're going to do the one that costs 3 iron. Yeah.
Export the iron.
But it does
2 on this
2
track.
on the money track. Yeah.
And I might consolidate soon because I haven't got
Becky.
Okay, so
I haven't got much money left.
Just trying to spend my money before I consolidate. I have a maximum of 4. So
You're also, just a quick note, you're not allowed to take a worker and not do the action. Because, for example, I've got 5 workers. If I consolidate when I have 6, that's slightly better, but I can't just take the worker and not do the action. You're not allowed to do that.
Okay. So, I'm going to spend 3. I am fairly ambivalent between these 2.
Okay.
So I'm going to stick to the yellow colour.
Yeah.
I'll let that make my decision for me. So I'm spending 3.
Which is 2,
go
but
2
plus
up
your
on the
bonus
right,
of 1.
1, 2, plus the extra
Right.
bonus. So I've just gone past my...
Time to explain the next bit. So, I said that you start the game with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 influence marker. Well, you've also got these. You have a 3, a 5, and a 7, which are locked. And those get unlocked as you move your R&D marker up. So when your R&D marker reaches or passes here, it unlocks your 3. When you reach here, it unlocks your 5. And when it reaches here, you unlock your 7. And that is how you get those extra influence markers. Becky's just passed this space, so she's unlocked her second 3.
Which I thought was handy because this 1 good would supply out
Would be a 3.
3.
And then those have gone there.
Yeah.
So, I think I have to consolidate, even though I only have 5 workers. I can't do another action. I don't think. No, I could because silk can be money.
But is it worth it?
Is it worth it, or do I want to consolidate? No, I tell you, I'm going to do it. Yeah, I am going to do another action, and I am going to take this worker, and I'm going to do this action, and I'm going to spend 1 silk as 1 money to move 1 space.
And then you get some coal that you'll lose when you consolidate.
I'm not going to do that. Yeah, that's the problem. I'd get 3 coal, and then I would be forced to consolidate next turn, and I'd lose that 3 coal. That seems inefficient. I'm going to consolidate now, so I lose all my money, I lose all my coal. I then get 14 money minus 6. I'm doing much better at this than I did last time. I get 8 money. I only get 2 coal, unfortunately. I need to improve my mining. I get 5 money for the bottom one because I've improved this department, and I get 3 coal for the top one because I've improved that department as well. Yeah, the ships are good. The expert workers go back. Oh, I get this favour token, which I'm going to put... I want the better one.
Yeah, I know.
I'm going to put it there.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go for it with the ships. I think I'm going to try and get all 6 ships out. So I took the favour token, and then these go back in the bag. That's me done.
Okay.
I want to pick up
A
this
red worker.
grey worker. Well, I'd like to pick up a red one, but there isn't a red one here. And I want to run my factories.
Yep.
So I'm going to pick up this grey one.
Well, you've got 6 coal, so you can run both of them.
Exactly. That's what I'd like to do.
Right.
So I'm spending 2 coal on this factory.
Which produces 2 paper because of the machinery.
And 3 coal on that factory.
Produces 1 bento.
That's technically
1 bento.
It's probably
1,000 bento, but yeah.
something like that. Oh no!
Yeah,
I
that's
put
right.
2 there, and I put 1 there.
Yeah.
1
Okay.
unit of bento.
Yes. 1 crate.
Deliveries.
Okay, so I'm consolidating.
You're full, you have to.
Yes, so
So
I'm going to get
it's-
13 money
When
minus...
you lose all of your money,
Oh, yes.
and you get 13 minus 9.
9. I know, it's awful.
So you get 4 grand.
Yeah, I get 3 coal.
3 coal. And then you get the bottom and the top workers, which are both yellow,
I
which
know.
is points.
I don't, you sound excited, but I'd much
points.
rather have more money.
How many points did you lose by yesterday?
Probably less than 6. But I also avoided all the yellow workers.
That's true.
Maybe it'll pay off.
All go back in the bag.
Yep,
And you had 6. So you get your...
I do.
What are you going to choose is going to be your...
It's going to have to be the white one.
It's going to have to be. You're definitely
Yeah.
going to do that.
Yeah, I feel like you're jinxing me when you say that.
You're absolutely going to do it. Right. So, what am I going to do? I've got loads of money and I've got the coal.
Must be nice.
Do we do some machinery? I mean, machinery is better in the later ones. The machinery for the paper and the cotton factories costs the same. So I'm tempted not to do that. I need to be thinking about which workers I want at the bottom as well. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take this worker. We're going to put it here. I'm going to increase my mining. So I'm actually going to spend 6,000 yen to move my coal mining up 3 spaces, which triggers my iron counter. So I get 2 iron. Right, and then that space is empty. This goes in. Okay, we are very close now to the first scoring round.
Okay.
As soon as one of these is empty, we are going to do our first scoring. And at the moment, we're all getting 8 points.
Because we're all second in one area.
Robert's second in here, I'm second in here, you're second in here. But the rush is on for you two because
Yeah.
you two have got...
Second here.
Robert.
No, that train isn't doing anything.
Not yet. Oh, you could be second to the foreign suppliers though. I'd rather you didn't though, if I'm honest. I've got my eye on that.
So
Yeah.
I'm
You
the
two
only
can-
person making bentos at the moment.
You are.
Yeah,
So I could.
If
do
you
a bit
two
of
both
shipping.
supply,
I win because of my train. So
Well.
don't try it.
you can supply to different regions. I'm saying if both of you supply before the next scoring
Yeah.
round,
So
it's
I'm
going
going
to
to
be
take.
beneficial.
I'm going to take a red guy
You want it red
and
anyway.
do some shipping to local markets. Some supplying to local markets.
So you have one bento, which is a 3.
Yeah. So that could go somewhere around here.
Could go there, could go there, could go there, could go here, here, here. I mean, you're already second here.
Get coal. If I go there,
it's money.
I get money. If I go here, I get iron. And I would like some iron. So I think
you would beat me.
Right.
To put me into third
yes,
place.
I'm gonna this one here.
Yep, so one bento.
But then all the other things I ship would have to go to here as well.
Yes, because you choose one region
yes.
and you can put up to 3 influence markers in one region.
So so I've got, yes, I'll send this one here for a 3.
Mm-hmm.
So my 3 is going there.
Yeah, which gets you 2 iron.
It's part of the reason why I did that action, so I can get some iron. But also, I get some points.
And are you now supplying some paper as
So
well?
I think I could send...
So you've got 3 paper. So if you wanted to, you could put a 1 here, but you don't have a 1.
No, or
you could put a 2 here.
Yeah, that's your only option.
Yeah, because you don't have a 3.
No, I won't do that.
Okay.
Oh,
I'll hold on to my paper.
He's got a plan.
You might be
I
getting this.
might do this one,
You might be
Oh,
doing
yes,
that one.
of course. I forgot about those.
or I might send the paper somewhere else.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
Me?
You're going to supply some lenses.
Yes, I am. Oops.
So again, lenses is also a medium class good. So
Yeah.
1 lens would be a 3.
Okay, so
Where's it going to go?
well, I'm torn because on the one hand, I desperately need money, but I'm already second in that area.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm better off supplying it to silk.
If you went here, you'd...
But I don't want to fight with people. I just want you all to leave me alone. I'll have this half the board.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Just build a wall here. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm gonna put it in here. I think.
There you go. You do what you want over there.
And I'm gonna take 2 coal because I put it in the coal area, and I only had the 1 good, so that is the last. That's my whole supply.
Okay. Right. So if I take that, that's going to trigger the scoring.
But you have nothing to supply, so I don't think you're going
No,
to do that.
exactly. I can't do that because I have nothing to supply. But Robert might do it next turn. He might. He might not. I don't know. I don't know what he's going to do. Okay. Well, ships are good. Like ships.
Yeah.
Could build 2 ships if I really wanted to. I'd be using all of my silk as money. Doesn't seem that great.
No.
Let's... Yeah, I could run a factory. Could run both of these. I would use 4 of my coal. I could build another factory. Ooh, I could do that. Yeah, so I need to do that first. Yeah, okay. Which one? Which one? Let's go with this black one. And I'm going to do the R&D action. I'm going to spend 3 grand to move this up 2 spaces. Now I've moved over my coal department space, which gets me 3 coal. Oh, I've got way too much coal now.
No.
Okay. Robert? Is he going to do it?
So I'd get a yellow person, which would increase my salary.
It would,
costs,
but it would trigger the scoring.
which could be really good. So I could send this paper to there and come second there.
We
no,
draw
you'd have to come third.
second.
Oh,
Because I
Right.
You can only put
I
your
see.
2 out.
Oh, because you don't have your
Yeah.
3.
okay.
Yeah, you would.
So yeah, which is still 6 points. If you put it there, you'd get 6 points. You're already second here. You're already second here.
No, you don't.
You could put it here and get third, which would be 6 points. So it's 6 points whether you put it here or here.
Do you want money or coal?
Yeah, I think the money's good. So I'll take the yellow guy.
Yeah.
I'll send 2 crates of paper to over there. That gets me 3 money.
Gives you 3 money.
And I'm coming third.
And that means this is empty. We can't refill. So what happens is...
I do
Yeah, do you want to do that? And we move that along, and we're now going to score. So in this region, the overseas companies are providing 11 influence. So they get 10 points. And then second place is green. Second place gets 8 points. In this region, the overseas companies are providing 7 influence. Green has 3, which is second, so green gets 8. Third place is purple. Purple gets 6. In this region, the overseas companies have 10. Becky has 3, plus her 2 for a train has 5, which is second. So pink gets 8 points. And finally, in the region over here, the overseas companies are winning again. But Becky has 3 influence and therefore gets 8 points. And Robert has 2 and gets 6 points. There you go. That's the scoring for that part of the game. And that was your go. Yes.
Okay.
I just picked up 3,000, but I'm going to have to consolidate.
You are, so you're gonna lose
I
it.
will lose that 3,000.
I
but
think all
never
the
mind.
red people are on RT boards. So there are none of them out. Okay, so I had some sort of plan.
Yeah, no red works have come out.
I keep forgetting it. It keeps leaving my brain. So I think... Oh, I was going to do... Yes, so somehow I was going to do that. I was going to do that. No, I was going to do that. I know what's going on, don't worry. Okay, I am going to drive my coal production up 1, which means I need to go over here and use blue worker.
And you just spent 1 money?
1 single money.
1,000 to move your coal production.
And the main reason I did that is now I get the iron.
Which is 2 iron.
Put up to get 2 more iron.
Right. Well, I want to do that. I also want to do that. Which one of those things do I want to do first? That is the question. I don't want either. I don't want any of those colours. Oh, colours. I feel like I'm restricting myself of which action I want to take because I don't want to take different coloured workers. Because, yeah, you can end up in Becky's situation where you like earn 13 and spend 9 and it's like, you know.
Yeah.
And the first time I remember once I consolidated and got no money. And it was like, oh, that's rubbish. Yeah, I got 12 money. I had 4 different coloured workers. Yeah, you can end up in a situation where you actually lose money, which means you lose points instead. But you can never go to below less than 1,000, I think. Anyway, what am I going to do? Let's build a machine. So I'm going to take this black worker. I'm going to build a machine. I don't have 5 grand, but I do have 4 grand and a silk. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to buy a machine and it's going to go here. And that's my go done. Yeah, lots of black and white work.
I have to consolidate.
You
and
have
as you
to
say,
consolidate.
I'm earning 14. I'm spending 9, so I
You
get
5.
So this goes back.
Yeah, but then you
This
get
goes
5.
back 5,000.
Yep. And you get
4
4 coal.
That's good.
And then you get, because you've got 6 workers, you get the red department bonus, which is 2 silk, and the yellow department bonus, which is 2 points. And you get to place your
Oh, lovely.
large favour token.
So these can go back in the back now,
Yeah.
can't they?
And then Becky, it's your go. What are you going to decide is going to be the thing that you're going to do the most?
I'm not sure. I need to use my coal. I've just not got enough money to do anything really. I wanted to build a ship, but I'm gonna put that off for a little while by producing, which I have 3 for one of my factories, 2 for the other, no machines.
So you get
one good on each.
One cotton, one lens.
So efficient.
Yeah. Well, I'm also running my factories, but I don't want either of these two. We're in the same situation again.
Exactly.
But at this point, I'm going to have to. So I'm going to take this blue worker. I'm going to spend 4 coal to run this factory and this factory. And because they've both got machines in, I get 2 goods in each. Okay, done.
I'm wondering how to get more coal because I want to run both my factories.
You need 1 more coal.
I need, yeah.
So placing an influence in here, moving your R&D market to there that you've already done. That's really it.
Is there a machine you can build with coal? Could use silk for the money. It's a very wild commitment.
I want to build another bento factory.
But if you did, you'd get 4 coal.
Yeah.
And it helps you point with game scoring. Commits you to bento, so you leave me alone on lenses.
These aren't the lenses you're looking for.
So maybe I'll deliver some. I've got 1 paper. Is it my numbers?
You don't have a 1, 2 or a 3.
No.
So in fact, you can't deliver paper at all because paper is only a 1, 2 or a 3.
Right.
You don't have a 1, 2 or a 3.
Right.
I mean, maybe you just, if that's not particularly useful to you, maybe you just power up the other factory.
But there's a machine there. I mean, goods are always useful for the contracts, even if you can't.
I'm going to spend 5,000 to put a machine. Well, I want to spend 5,000 to put a machine there, so it's grey or yellow.
Grey or yellow.
The grey one.
Okay. 5 grand. 1 machine.
Okay.
What's Becky going to do?
I'm going to... Am I going to do that? I'm going to build a ship.
So that's
this. It has to be the yellow guy, unfortunately.
So how many ships?
Well, 1.
Just the 1 with 3 iron?
3 iron.
Where are you sending the ship to?
I'm going to take London because that gives me more money now that you've returned the little guy. So that goes there. He goes here, and that will just about cover the cost of taking a yellow.
Don't forget to put your ship on.
Thank you. Thank you.
There you go. All right. Right, my go. I want to run my factories again. Oh no, we need to replace those. Has that changed anything?
Some of those colours work for you.
No. I need black, white, or blue, but I mean, I could supply.
Yeah.
And delay and hope somebody else takes this, and then those come in. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm gonna supply. So I'm going to take this blue one, and I've got a 1 and a 3, but I can't use the 3 for either of these, so it's just going to be 1 of something. And what's the something going to be? I mean, silk is nice. Iron is also nice. Let's go iron. So I'm going to provide 1 cotton, which is just a 1 to here, which gets me 2 iron. Okay, done.
I want to run my factory, so I'm going to take this grey worker. And I'm just going to run that one, which takes 3 coal.
3 coal for 2 bento. Could he overbuild a 1 on the board and then use that for paper? Yes. I could have done. But I would have needed 3 of something to put a 3 on, and then I could have overbuilt my 1 or my 2 to get my 2. Yeah, you can do it, but yeah. You've got to be better than what you've already got.
Okay, so I want a blue worker at the top because that means more money, but at the moment I am losing 3 money to do it. So what is worth spending my 3 money on? I could up my coal. which would mean I get more coal, but not quite enough to run both my factories. What else can you do with 3 money? Not very much. In fact, it's just those two. Oh, I need money though.
Yeah, if you don't have any silk.
So at the moment I'm getting 13. Both of those colours are different. It's already going to cost me 9. I can't make it cost. Okay, fine. So I'm consolidating.
You are?
Yes,
Okay.
I am.
You lose that 3 grand.
Lose my 3 grand.
But then you gain 13 minus 9.
9.
So you gain 4. You get 3 coal.
Yeah, this is awful.
And then you get the ability of your red department and your blue department.
I get that 5 as
yeah,
well.
so you get the 5 from the blue department and you get 2 silk from the red department.
Oh, I forgot about him. That's better.
There you go.
And then I get
you also
to
get to
place
place your
the
medium
one.
Yep.
So what am I feeling
This
medium
guy goes
about?
back to London.
I'm going to put it on Robert's board. So that's 4 in it.
I'll let you choose while I'm taking my turn.
Sorry, I'm putting it on the factory.
All right, okay.
Give me my people back. There we go.
Because I'm taking this one and I'm going to run my factories and I'm going to spend 4 coal to get 2 more goods on there and 2 more goods on there. Right, there you go. Check out all this paper.
Nice.
Nobody come anywhere near me with matches. I have a warehouse full of paper.
And the good news is origami's just been invented.
It has,
so
yeah. Yay! we have a high need for paper. Right, Robert, what you doing?
I was thinking it would be good for me to go from there to there. So I'd need to pick up a person. I need to pick up a different colour from what I've already got. But it would still be good because I get 5 coal. And that means I can run both my factories. So I'd be spending my silk to do that. But it does seem a good idea. So I'll have a white worker. Oh, so the black, no, it's not going to make any difference, is it? Because I'm not up to level 4 yet for the bonuses. So that means I'm spending 1 silk to to go up on the coal track.
Okay, so you just spend 1 money, 1 silk as money, and you go up 1 space. Yeah.
Okay. I am going to finally build a machine.
Yay!
Which means I need to go
those
there.
3.
So am I going to want a push up one
Could
or
build
that?
2.
Oh, but do I want to? Yeah, so lenses use 3, 4 and 5. So it'd be maybe you're right. But then I have no money again. Oh, what's the decision? No, I can't.
Jimmy's asking what we think of the changes. As I mentioned at the start, Jim, this is a sponsored playthrough video, so it would be wrong of me to give you my opinion on the changes. I will be sharing my thoughts on the game with my Patreon supporters afterwards. In fact, I've already shared my thoughts with my Patreon supporters because I've played this a few times in the last couple of weeks. But yes, we're just here to show you how it works and then let you make your own decisions. Of course, if anybody in the chat wants to comment on what they think of the changes, that's absolutely fine. But yeah, we can't comment on them ourselves.
So because I don't have any steel, I'd have to do 1 on here and 1 on here, and I don't want to build any more on that, so I am just going to build the one.
Just the one.
As I pick this up,
that
I've now
gets you both of those bonuses.
Yes.
Nice.
Which is 1, 2, which hopefully means more money.
Ching.
Which I desperately need.
Well, I have to consolidate.
Yep.
So I lose my money. Don't have any. Lose my coal. Don't have any.
Oh, I need to pick up a person. Apologies. Where did I go?
What were you doing?
That one. So, do I want that?
Yes.
I'm going to want extra coal in.
So 14 money minus 9, so I get 5 money. I get 3. Well, I would get 3 coal, but hang on, because I'm getting the department bonuses for the top and the bottom, which is both white. So that's 4 boosts on the tracks. So I'm going to take 1, 2, 3, 4. which gets me
very nice.
this, and then I get 4 coal. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. Then I get to place this. Now then.
You're going all the way with the ships, weren't you? Didn't you say? Did you say you were going all the way with the ships?
I'm going to try and go all the way with the ships. I'm going to try.
All the way only has to be 5.
Well, yeah, that's true. Yes, you don't have to put all 6 out to get the maximum points. Right. Robert. The deluxe has metal money. Yes, I think I saw something like that on the Kickstarter page. That there's very, very nice metal money if you want a deluxe version with some extra bits.
I think I might deliver some bentos.
Okay.
Since I've already got a white person
Is
here.
bentos the plural of bento?
No,
there is no plural. It's bento.
bento. Yeah. So,
but I call dices, so you know.
I was thinking of consolidating after that round, but if I consolidated, I wouldn't be able to put one of these things over here, and I wouldn't get any bonus for the top.
You'd get the bonus for the bottom.
I get the yes,
but not the top. So sometimes it's the right thing to do.
I feel like
I did it a lot last night, and I didn't win.
If I deliver, I can take one of these, so the white one is the same colour as what I've already got.
Yeah, that's good.
And it means I put one of those, I'll get another bonus.
2 bento is a 4.
So yeah, I want to. Where do I want to deliver? So delivering here is quite good because I can get silk.
And if you went there, you'd replace the 3 influence from the overseas companies.
Right. Yes. But I'm not in this one yet. So
you are not here.
That would get me some coal.
Mm-hmm.
That would be quite nice. Yeah, if I got 2 coal, I could then
run the factory again.
So. Don't think I want the coal now.
Okay.
I want to consolidate soon, so I don't want to take the coal yet. So maybe
silk.
Maybe I'll go for the silk then.
Silk.
So 2 of these.
So 2 bento is a 4. So 4 influence can go either there or there, and I think it's in your best interest.
That's better, yeah.
To cover up the overseas
influence. Which means I get 2 silk.
You get 2 silk.
And that will be useful.
And theoretically, you can put 3 influence markers in the region, not just 1, but you were only able to put the 1. You'll see later in the game, once you start getting lots of factories with lots of goods, that people can start dropping influence markers multiple at a time. Right, Becky.
Okay, I am going to produce, which is here. I'm using the black colour. I'm just going to use the 3 coal.
3 coal for 2 more lenses. So you've got 3 lenses.
I finally have a machine in there.
Right.
That's me.
So I've just realised I can do something a little crazy and a bit interesting, I think. So I'm going to do contracts. And I'm actually going to do 3 contracts.
Ooh, okay.
All at once. I think. This might be silly, but I'm going to do it. So if I do this one, that costs 3 iron. I'm going to show you this on my playboard. So I'm going to do that contract, which costs 3 iron. There you go. I'm also going to do this contract, which requires 2 different goods. So I'm going to use these 2. So I'm going to use some cotton and some paper. And I'm going to deliver this one. No, not that one. This one, which is 2 goods of 1 type. And I'll make it paper and also 1 silk. So there you go. I've done 3 contracts. And the benefit of that is that I get to move this 14 to 20. I think I was good. And I have now done 4 contracts. So for end of game scoring, well, I'm getting nothing at the moment, but that's kind of persuading me to to put something on here. But that is most of my stuff gone. Which was quite a lot of stuff. But yeah, I'm happy with that. That was a different thing. Yeah, I did 3 contracts with 1 action. Efficient.
You're
I know.
Consolidate.
Right.
So I lose
Lose
my
your coal.
coal.
You gain 14 money minus 6, so you get 8 money. You get 5 coal. And then you get the grey ability, which is 2 iron. And the white ability, which is 1 on your R&D track or your mining track.
So this is a bit better because I
Yeah.
want to try and get that number 3.
Yeah.
Free that up. Number 3 token.
And then you get to place that.
Oh, lovely.
And then those go back in the back. I just realised we're also almost at this point, which is not a scoring, but it's halfway to the next scoring. Tony's popped in to say hi. Oh, interesting. Not only is this Tony's number 1 game of 2015, it's his number 1 game of all time. Well, I am very interested to see what you think of the new version and the new changes then.
Okay, iron supplying goods. What I'd like to have, yes, it will be that one.
It is that one.
What I'd like to have done is do a 3 and a 4. However, I've already put one of mine out in the only area that has 2 lenses. So instead I will be putting the 5 out.
So there's only 1 region on the board that has 2 lenses.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And
So
now
you're using 3 lenses to put out a 5, which can never be replaced. That's the maximum influence you can have for lenses.
right. So I've
Where do you want to go?
well, it's a bit complicated because if I get money, I'm going to want to do something that also needs iron. So I don't think I want money. I could get the iron for later, but then I'm going into an area that you guys are already in. I'd currently be winning, but then you'd screw it up for me.
Well, would we? I mean,
Probably.
How?
I
I
mean,
don't know how.
put out more
Yeah.
influence, of course.
Possibly, but
Yes.
I mean, going in a region and getting first place seems
What was the?
because you'd be first in there.
It would.
You would actually
for
be
the
first.
moment. What was so that I was going to do that, but should I do something else? Okay, yeah, all right.
Do it.
Yeah, okay, so I'm going to do the iron thing because at least when I consolidate, that won't get lost.
Yeah.
So I pop that over there,
Right, it's all changed in this region then. Becky's got 5.
and I
Me
spend
and Robert have 3, and the overseas companies have 3. So we've got a 3-way tie for second
all
place.
3 of my goods for that one, and that's me.
Okay, and we have an empty area, so we move that forward.
Do you want to throw me the bag?
Sure. Well, I might need to see what comes out.
you
I will
probably
need to see what comes out.
Right, so that's those 3.
I mean, I want to run my factory, so if you could put a black worker here, please.
Oh, okay. I'll give it a proper shuffle and look away, so I can't be accused of anything. Sorry.
No.
That sounded very insincere there, didn't I? Oh, yeah. I'm just not going to give you any black workers.
They're gone.
Oh my gosh.
It's all red. Look at that.
Because they were all on our board, so none of them came out last time.
Gosh.
Yeah, it's not good for you, is it?
Is that going to change what I do?
It's going to change what I do.
I mean, I want to run. But then what am I going to do after I've run? Probably going to do that.
This is awful.
I'm going to run my factories with this white worker. That's white worker, not white walker. It's a totally different thing. So I'm going to spend 4 coal to run this factory and this factory. Done. I'm just churning out
I
paper and
feel
cotton.
like-
None of this bento lens nonsense. Paper and cotton. That's where it's at.
Right, yes. So if I spend... Yeah, that's a good idea. I would like to go up on the white track to get my number 3 thing.
Uh-huh.
So that means spending money. I'll take a... Take a white worker.
How much are you spending?
I never picked
Ah,
up.
wait a minute. Which action space is it to go up
This
on?
one.
Yeah. So white worker. I will spend 3 money to go up 2 spaces, and then that means to get up to the next level. And it also frees up my number 3.
I don't quite know what I'm doing because I've got the classic issue of I want to do this. I don't want a grey worker. Especially if I wait you guys out, that'll probably come out, and there's a very slim chance it could be the one who takes the blue worker. But I've still got a blue.
It's horrible, isn't it?
It's going to have to be this guy. So I'm just going to go up on my coal, which at least if I spend 1, I get into the 4. But then I consolidate and lose it, so I might as well spend 3 to go up twice. And that goes there.
So I think I've worked something out here, which I didn't think I was going to be able to do.
Okay.
But I think this is quite interesting. So I'm going to take that. I'm going to supply goods.
Yeah.
So I'm going to use 3 cotton to place my number 3.
Over your
and I'm going to place it over my number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Right, which gets me 2 iron. And then I'm going to supply 3 paper, which places my other number 3 over my number 2.
Okay.
Getting me another 2 iron. It means I've got my 1 and my 2 back.
Could you, if you wanted to? Oh, you can't because that's level 1 factory.
My other option is actually leaving the 2 there and putting the 3 here. Yeah, let's do that. Let's leave that 2 there and put that 3 there.
Oh, and now you're being.
And now I've got 8 as well.
Yeah.
But that can never be replaced, and that can never be replaced.
Okay.
So, and I got my 1 back. Should I want to put a 1 somewhere else? That I might do.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, happy with that.
I want to run my factories, so that means picking up a grey worker at the moment. So I'm spending 2 coal on that factory and 3 coal on that one.
There you go.
Which makes
2 paper and 2 bento. Okay, Becky.
I'm consolidating. This should go better than it has
Okay.
recently.
So you
15 plus 5 minus 6 is 14.
oh, when I run this factory, I get 2 money.
So you gain 15 minus 6, which is 9, plus the 5, 14.
Yep. Then I'm getting 2 coal plus 2 coal, which is.
Well, 4.
Thank you.
4 plus 2.
4 plus 2. I can do maths.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you get to place your small favour token.
I do. I don't really know how this is going.
And then the workers go back.
What do we think I'm going to do poor to middling at?
Placing the big one is easy, I think.
I don't even know if I'm going to
It's
do
which
one
thing
bow.
are you really going to do? Placing the smaller one is like, which thing am I going to do a bit of? But what you don't want to do is place the small one and then end up doing it a lot.
So you could put over it, I think. No, you can't.
Once these are placed, that's
who
it.
knows that one? Let's put it there.
You can always place a lower one.
That's
So if
what
you
it
get
was.
to the top and this is empty, you can place a lower one.
Okay, that is me. Oh, I've got more resources than I do game. Okay.
Well, I want to build ships. So I'm going to take this. And I'm going to build 2 ships. So 5 money and 1 iron for 1 ship. And then 3 iron for the other ship. I'm going to build 2 ships. And I could go to the same place again. But I'm not going to. Or am I?
Ooh.
Because of the worker situation. If I take 2 of these, I'm going to end up with 4 different coloured workers. Then again, my income is 20. You'd stop worrying about it. So the advantage of going to a place a second time is that I get the expert worker of my choice. That is interesting. Okay, so okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go to Berlin again. So I don't get the department bonus because I've already got it, but I do get that. And then we're going to go to New York. I'm going to get that. It's going to go there, which gets me that. So So I'll be consolidating again on next turn. But I've built my 5 ships, so 20 points at the end of the game. Happy with that. Robert, your go.
Feel like buying another factory.
Okay. Your R&D level is now 4, and
I've got some silk.
it's got some silk. Are we going for the big ones?
I'm going for the big.
We are going for the big ones.
I quite liked.
Please don't take the one I want.
Finney's asking, why can't they be replaced? If somebody places light bulbs there, one of the 3s will be dropped in as a 3-player game. Max influence 3 tokens.
It's a cotton paper.
Yeah, we're going to put that there to show that this is now blocked off, because there can only be 3 influence markers in a 3-player game. And yes, these 3s can't be replaced because you can only place the commodity that's actually shown on the tile. Hopefully that makes sense.
Okay.
I feel like let's try clocked. So place a ship and train for free is quite
That's
good.
that one.
Oh God, do we even?
Place 2 ships.
That's 2 ships for free, but they have to be in different ports.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's without spending money, so you still need to spend iron.
You still need to spend the iron for these, for the 2 ships.
Yeah.
That top
He
one
has
is
plenty of
completely
iron.
free.
2, 3, 4. Right. So I'll have the 1 ship and 1 train, which is 2A.
Okay. So your pick a worker.
Right. So I guess this white is better.
Yep. You need an R&D level of 6 to take one of these. You have 4, so you're spending 2 silk.
Of that, I
And you
spend
spend
6
6
money.
Okay. So you get a completely free ship and a completely free train. So you can't go to New York or Berlin.
So it's the which
What colour do you want?
grey gets me iron.
Yep.
Reds get me silk. So maybe the red.
So you're going to San Francisco. You get that expert worker. Goes there, and you improve your department bonus for silk, which goes there. So that was the free ship. You've unlocked that. So your money
nice.
income goes up by 1. And then you get your free train.
Right.
Gosh.
So it'll only take effect if I have some.
Yeah, so it won't do anything if you put it here, because you don't.
It's not.
You're not producing. You're not
Yeah.
supplying any goods here.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to put it there, and hopefully I
Okay.
will soon send some
Trains just going around. Nothing to
good
do.
there.
You get another
Right.
one income. Right. So what did you do? You built a factory. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. We're good.
I am going to take this worker. I'm going to spend 6, so take 2 change. So I'm going to put my.
Is that a 4 bump on the R&D?
It is, yes. So I only really wanted to get to 5, but I thought if I do it, if I take the 3 and the extra one, I've now hit
Yep.
this scoring line,
Yeah.
which means I never really have to do this again unless I need the 7, and who knows if I'm going to need that.
Yeah.
So the second 7.
Okay. So that unlocks your 5 influence marker.
Oh, it does, doesn't it? I forgot about that. Thank you very much.
Right. My go. Well, I have to consolidate because I've got 6 workers. So no money, no coal. Great. 20 money minus 9. So I get 11 money. All right. I get 4 coal. And then I get the black department bonus, which is 3. And the yellow department bonus, which is 4 points. And then these diplomats return. So the New York guy goes back and the Berlin guy goes back. And could you pass me the bag? Pop these in. Oh, and I had 6, which means I get to place this. Now then, I think I'm going to put it at the bottom. Because I've already done 4, so it's already 20 points.
Yeah.
And it might get even more if I do more contracts.
20 is where it starts decreasing. And
Oh, because it went up by 8 there. It's only an extra 2. Yeah, that's interesting, that, isn't it? The most efficient is there, and after that, it's just an extra little bit. Okay. I hadn't realised that.
I'm going to consolidate.
Oh, you're doing it too.
So I throw away my money.
You get 16 minus 9.
So
7. Then you get the white and red
So
department
the white
bonuses.
one I'm just going to take as an advance on the white track.
Yeah.
And then the red is 3 silk.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice.
And you get to place your
that is
little favour
Lovely.
token. Pop this back to San Francisco. Go back. Becky, go.
okay. I'm going to buy factory, which means I'm going to have to take a
Have to take yellow.
yellow
What's
one.
your R&D level?
It's 5, but I've planned ahead this
Plus
time.
1.
Plus
6.
1 is 6. And then I would like the light bulb factory with the images of the machines on. Oh, which is right by me, so I
That
don't
one?
actually need.
So you immediately get 2 free machines.
Yes. So the way it's phrased is place 1 machine without spending money. So first machine without spending money. I assume that would have to be on this factory, but I want it to be on there.
They have to be different factories.
Yes.
So it doesn't have to be.
First one without spending any money. That one doesn't cost me a steal. You may place another 1 machine without spending money on a different factory.
Yeah.
So that one is going to go in here,
But you
which
have to
is
spend the iron because it's your second machine
which
in the
is
factory.
why I got that much earlier.
Got it.
Okay. And that didn't clear
It didn't
anything,
clear anything up.
unfortunately.
Right. Yeah, I kind of want to do. Right. Anyway, I think it's going all right. I'm happy with how it's going
Oh,
compared
I
to.
didn't pick up my coal. I should have taken 5 coal when I did
Yes,
the
don't forget
consolidate.
5
Don't
colour.
forget that. How are we looking for this? Probably got a few turns left.
Yeah.
I'm doing all right here, but that's it. So when it gets to the scoring,
Yes. And
I'm not doing very well. All I've got is paper and cotton factories. My R&D level is now 4. I think I know what I need to do. I think I need to build another factory. So I'm going to take that worker. My R&D level is 4. So I'm going to spend 6 and I am going to get one of these. And it's going to be... Oh, that's build 1 train for no money, but I need to spend the iron. Is that right?
I think it is. It's
So I need
that's
2
the
iron.
lens thing.
um,
That's
Yeah.
1 train without spending
Yes,
money.
that's right. You still need to spend
Still need to
the
spend the
iron.
iron, and then the other one I'd need to spend the iron.
You'd have
and
to
the
spend the full cost
Yeah.
for the second.
So I only have 1 iron, so that's a little bit of a waste. So I'm actually going to take this one.
Is that the one that each time you produce from it, you can build a train?
No,
After
it's
place,
each time I put a machine
yeah,
into here,
then you can.
I
place
can
it
build a train
train
without
without
spending money.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to put that there. I spent the 6 money, so that's me done. Yeah. Okay, I think this works.
There you go.
Yes.
Let's have a red worker to run.
You're going to
my
run your factories. So which ones are you running? So you can run up to 3 different factories.
Oh, wait a minute. I could
But
I
just
could
the
upgrade
running
this
one.
before I run it.
Yeah.
So if I wanted to
true.
upgrade it,
Yes.
I would be picking up a grey worker. Um,
Tony mentions about the playboards. Yeah. How they've condensed everything in is really good. And these are dual layer playboards, so everything slots in and fits in really nicely.
yes, I'll run it now without upgrading it. So I'm picking up the red one.
And are you running the new factory?
And that will cost 4. Yeah, I'll run the new. Oh, that's so inefficient.
It's so inefficient.
Yeah.
It's 4 coal
Yeah, I
for
want to upgrade
1
it.
block.
Yeah, I want to upgrade it. So to upgrade it is
that?
this action.
Yeah.
So it's a grey worker, and I spend
5 money.
5 money.
I mean, you
Or
could
a
technically
cobble.
do it twice if you wanted.
You could do it twice if you wanted.
And then I'd be paying iron for the second one
And a bunch of silk.
using my silk.
Mm-hmm.
But it'd be really good when you run it.
That would be really good.
It would be,
Yeah, so that's 2 money, 3 silk.
and an iron. Double machines.
So that's another one. I've just put this small
Oh.
flower in there, and now I'm bombing up the machine track. So it is difficult to
It
decide
is.
where
Yeah.
to
It really is.
I've only played this game about 4 times.
You played the old one a few
I've played-
times.
Yes.
Yeah. You go.
I'm producing. I would like 7 so I can run these 2, but I have 6. Anyway, so I'll take the yellow worker because he matches what I've got. So I'm going to run this one for 4.
Which produces 2 light bulbs.
2 light bulbs, and
So
then
we're already into the top tier goods.
as awful as cotton is, I do have this 2 token. It can't go on anything else.
Yeah.
So I am going to spend 2 coal
For 1 copper.
to get a single cotton. Yeah.
Fine. I'm going to take this grey worker. I'm going to spend 5 grand. I'm going to buy a machine. That machine is going to go into here. And whenever I put a machine into here, I get to build a train for no money, but I have to spend the iron, and I have an iron, and I build a train. Right. Now, I've only got influence in here for now. And I'm currently winning it. So having an extra 2, although you 2 are probably about to go in. Yeah.
Don't know. I haven't got a clue on
I'm
that.
going to put the train. I'm putting it here. I've done it. There you go. Okay, that's it.
I'm ready to run my factory. It's got lots of cogwheels in it now.
Yay.
So if you were to take, you're going to.
No. That's
Oh, that's a disaster.
a moment.
So does that create a scoring?
It does.
So do I want to create a scoring?
I mean, it's actually better for you to.
I don't
Terrible
think-
for me.
Given the amount of
If I wanted to create a scoring, the best way.
literally amount of
Right.
this-
So if I pick one of the, if I do delivery to local markets,
It won't
then I
trigger
won't
scoring.
trigger the scoring.
But then Becky will also
But am
deliver and trigger scoring.
Am I in a good position for scoring?
Yes.
I
Well,
think I am.
you're second here, you're third here, and you're second here.
So that's pretty good.
But
So-
you think you're not including the foreign.
I'm including the overseas.
Sorry.
Overseas are winning here and Robert's second. Here I'm first, you're second,
Oh,
Robert's
he is
third.
third. Yeah.
Here you're not here at all, and here you're second from the overseas companies.
Mm,
So it's not great,
yeah.
but
It would.
if Becky's allowed to deliver and trigger the scoring,
Mm.
it will be amazing for Becky.
If
yeah.
Becca wants to trigger the scoring,
So
But
it
it'd be
actually
good
you could
hurts.
just pick this up.
But I have to have supplied. Well, no, I don't have to supply.
Yeah.
I guess the thing is I'm all right at the moment, but I'd be even better if I
Yeah.
had a chance to supply.
So you triggering that is okay for you,
Mm.
but it hurts
I
Becky.
think I'll run my factory.
Okay.
So to run my factory,
That's
is-
that.
oh, that triggers.
Which is,
Yeah.
yeah, but that's fine.
I mean,
want to
you
run the
could
factory.
alternatively supply the lower value goods you've got, which wouldn't trigger this, and then I would trigger the scoring.
It would help
And
you to supply those
It would
goods. to
basically
the-
just
You
like
get a
all
free
of
paper
that.
out. Yeah, could do that.
and a 5 bento.
Oh, is that a 5 bento?
Yeah, it is.
Before.
Yes, you're right. I'm
You
sorry.
haven't got a 4.
Never mind.
So, it's up to you. Gosh.
Well, I know what I want you to do.
So I haven't got a number 4.
No, you said you can put down
To
a
deliver
lower
my
one.
paper.
So you can only put down a lower one if
It's
that
in
number
secondary.
exists within the thing. So you could never put a 1 and 2 of bento.
But you could put down just one bento.
So, right, yeah.
Or just power them.
I think I'm going to run my factories.
Yeah.
Okay. So which one?
So I'm
big
going to
one?
run that one.
Yeah. So you spend 4 coal and you get 3 clocks.
Very nice.
Yeah, you're really set up. You two are going to do really well at the 3rd scoring, I think. I'm glad this has happened
I'm
before
not.
you two have got loads of stuff on the board.
Oh,
So, scoring time. Do you want to do the workers?
Yeah.
And I'll do the scoring. So, region number 1, overseas companies have 8. Robert has 5. I don't have any,
I
even though I
can't
have a
move
truck.
those things, so maybe I'll do the workers.
Oh yeah, sorry. So you got 8. Was that?
No, Robert gets 14.
Robert gets 14,
for second place.
which is 49. Yep.
Okay. In this region, I've got the most. Awesome.
Okay.
So I get 18.
Okay, 20, 28.
Okay. Second is yourself.
Yep.
You get 14.
14, 45. Yep.
And then Robert gets 10. And the overseas companies are now 4th. Here, you're
They're
second.
still first.
You get
I'm
14.
second, 14. 15.
Okay.
Ooh.
And then in the last region,
Yeah.
the overseas companies are still winning it.
Yeah.
But you're second.
Yeah.
Robert's third.
So I get 14.
So you get 14. Robert gets 10. 10. I'm being left behind again.
I don't know. Last time I had a lot of this points, didn't I? And I really don't this time. So
Yeah.
we'll see. Okay.
So we filled them, we're there. So just as a reminder, and I'm just going to show you this again on the screen, because we have had, and I've pressed the wrong button, we have had 4 complete rounds. So this marker has moved 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So we're now going to play again as normal, but the next time it moves to here, that starts the final countdown. And from that point, we have 3 turns each.
I don't feel ready for that.
We are 3/4 of the way through the game. Yeah, pretty much. Maybe 70%.
Do you feel like you're a lot further behind than you were yesterday?
I do. In terms of points, I felt like I
I've
was
got my
doing
clock
well.
factory. In the game we played yesterday,
Yeah,
I won, and I didn't have any factories that were above the level
you
up
didn't.
here.
No, and today
So
you
I've got a
have.
clock factory, so I feel I'm doing better. But
Yes,
we'll see.
I feel I'm doing better, but my points say otherwise.
Okay, I know what I'm doing.
Right.
I'm even though there's not much of a hurry, I'm going to also blue worker.
Blue
Take
worker.
them while I can. So I'm going to supply 2 light bulbs for 6 influence and 2 cotton for 2 influence. I now actually realise I have no idea where I'm going, so this is going to take a second. So currently got that, but it won't stay that way. That has no cotton in, so I'm not going there.
They don't want cotton here.
No.
It's against their
I
religious beliefs.
can't beat you on cotton here, so that's also out.
Yeah.
I'm putting down 8 points.
These guys really need cotton.
So I would
They're
be
so jealous of these people.
I would be temporarily winning in there, but I don't feel like it would stay that way. Or I could go here, which I currently have, but it would cement it. Now the other issue is that so 6 money or 4 silk. I think but this area is not going to be mine for much longer. But we can come back and try and deal with that. Okay, I'm going to go over here. So I'm going to place the 6 on the light bulbs.
So what was the 6 for?
The light bulbs.
It was for 2 light bulbs.
Yep.
2 light bulbs is a 6, which gets you 2 silk. And I'm
there's
going to cover
2.
over this space.
Well, at least that helps me with the decision as to which
Yeah.
cotton I'm putting on. And then I'm going to take my 4 silk.
Silk.
There we go. I think that's that.
Right. Well, I need to run my factory, but I don't want any of those. So
Christ.
I'm just going to take the blue one. So I'm going to run the factory. I'm going to spend 7 coal to have 2 lenses, 2 cotton, and 2 paper. Done.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Feel like delivering some stuff. So I can deliver clocks, bento plural, and paper.
Oh, that didn't work. I was going to do the cotton there. Yeah, okay. Rats. Who else is doing lenses? You're doing lenses, aren't you?
No, yes.
I want to deliver something to here because I've got the train here. So maybe 3, 5. Yeah, I'd like to, because I've got 2. I've got 2 of these, but I haven't got a 4 marker, so
But
I can't.
you could put a 3 out if you wanted.
Yeah.
And if you've got a ton of goods, don't forget these guys.
Sorry?
Contracts.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
Right, yes.
Because the contracts is just goods. Doesn't matter whether it's paper or,
Yeah.
fancy
Yeah.
calculators.
So I should deliver some clocks because I've got, mind you, if I've got 3 different types, that's really good. I could do
The super contract.
I could do that one.
Yeah.
That's good. Right.
It is.
I'll do so contracts.
This action.
So that's I could take a grey one. Right, so this contract here is pretty good.
Yeah. 2 of one of something different, and 1 of something different again.
And then I could
You
do
could
this
also
one
do
as
that
well.
one.
So that would be 2 of these.
Yeah.
1 of them. 1 of them.
Mm-hmm.
That does that one.
You could also
And
do that
then-
one as well.
Right, with my paper.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good, yeah. I'll do 2 of them and 1 of them to do this. And I'll leave that for later.
Or you could do that now as well.
I think I'll save them.
Okay. So what does that do? Move your money
2 up
marker up
on that,
and another one.
and then that one,
Yeah.
and then that gives me
2
2
points.
VPs, 9 money.
9 money. Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. So I am going to take this black worker. I'm going to pop him there. I'm going to spend 3 money to go up 2 on there, which puts me into the 5 window.
Yeah.
That's me.
Okay, I had a plan.
What was it?
Forgot what the plan was. No, I know what the plan is. I take this. I'm going to supply goods. I have 2 lenses. 2 lenses is a 4. Thought I'd messed it up there for a minute. And I think it's going to go here. It's going here, which gets me 2 silk.
Doesn't screw up my plans.
Okay, that is, yeah. So if that hadn't been blocked, I could have also supplied 1 cotton to here. But in a 3-player game, you can only use 3 of the spaces. A 2-player game would be really tight, because I think you can only use 2 of the spaces in a 2-player game. I'm just going to check that in the rules.
Messing yourself up in a 2-player game.
There is a limit of available influence spaces according to the number of players. So yeah, in a oh no, it says in the 2 to 3 player game, yeah, you choose which spaces to occupy, and once the limit is reached, you may still replace tokens with new higher valued ones. Yeah, I think we're playing it correctly. Again, all of the rules of the game are subject to change, but I don't think much is going to change, to be honest. I think the game is done.
No.
So what's happening here? I've got 6. You've got 8. Robert's got 5. Overseas companies are down to 2.
Oh, you're right. I need to put a train in there.
Well,
Want to go up.
you're currently winning.
Yeah, but I'd like to be sure.
Winning's winning.
Kind of need to just supply light bulbs to every single area. Pity that's not an option.
Let's take this white one to go up on the R&D track.
How many?
So 1, 2, 3. If I spend 6 money,
6 money
I
is
go up
3 steps. That's going to get you 20 points at the end of the game.
1, 2, 3, and that frees up my number 5,
Yeah.
my second
Nice.
one of them.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm refreshing. Consolidating.
So 15 minus 9.
Plus 5 is 11. And then 5
coal
plus 2
2,
coal is
7
7 coal, which is the exact amount I needed.
And you get to place your medium-sized favour token.
I do, but where on earth am I going to put that? Ooh. Okay.
I'm also consolidating. So I lose my money in my coal. I get 20 minus 9. So I get 11.
I'm not doing as good as I was yesterday.
I get 4 coal. 2, 3, 4. And I get 8 points. Because I've got a yellow at the top and a yellow at the bottom. And my yellow department is worth 4 points. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I get to place this somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
You're not doing very well on trains.
I'm not doing very well on trains.
But we had
But
yes.
I don't know how many turns are going to be left. I don't know if I'm going to place the better one. So I think I'm going to put it there because at least I'm getting some points for that. It's me done.
I feel like delivering.
Okay. It's going to empty a space. Oops. What are you delivering to where? So you've got one
got
clock.
2 things.
Yeah, one clock is a 5 and a bento is a 3.
Yeah.
You've got a 5 and a 3, okay, and they have to be in the same region.
Yeah. Seems like overkill to go with a 5 and a 3 in there, and there's not much competition yet. But it would get me more coal.
It would get you more coal, which
And
you
then
could
I
then
could
run the
use the
factories
coal.
again. Yeah.
So I'll do that, yeah. I've got
Okay.
a 5 and a 3.
So a 5 clocks and a 3 bento. So the 3 bento has to go here, and the 5 clocks has to go there. Getting you 4 coal. Yeah, double that bonus.
So that coal is useful to me.
Right, Becky.
Okay.
We could be close if these 2 are taken. We could be very close.
Right. So that makes me wonder. I don't have a 6, so that would have to be a 5. But that's good. Okay. So I'm going to buy a machine. And then so that means I need one of these workers. I'll take the blue. So that's 5 and a steel to put this machine in here. That's me.
I'm now worried that the game's going to be over before I've done anything.
No.
So I'm getting 20 points for my contract. Delivering more contracts is a few extra points, but not that worth it. I'd like to get this up to here because currently it's getting me 10. If I can get that to there, that's 20. I'm already getting 20 from my ships. I've got some more bonuses here to unlock. How am I going to catch up the 30 points that I'm behind? My factories are currently getting me 16 points, and each additional factory is only another 2. My trains are not getting me anything. That's not getting me anything. That's getting me a little bit. I don't know. I actually don't know. I think I've fallen a little bit behind the curve. I could build a big factory. And these big factories have immediate bonuses on them, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have no iron.
That one's useless to you.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because it's when I consolidate if I place the thing. That would get me 6 iron just for building it.
Wouldn't it get you 4? Oh, gosh. Sorry, I forgot to do maths again.
2 for every... Whereas this would get me... That would get me 8 points. That's an immediate 8 points if I build it. Oh.
But you get 4 points every time you take a yellow worker.
It's true.
At this point.
That is true. But there's only one more yellow. Well, there's only one yellow worker out.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, I think my only hope is to try and build one of the big factories, somehow produce in it, and somehow get a big influence on the board to do better in the final scoring. I think that's my only chance. So, I'm going to take that. I'm going to spend 6 money. My R&D level is 4. I spend 2 silk to have an R&D level, a virtual R&D level of 6. No use. No use. No use. Potentially good. Oh, 3 goods on 3 different factories.
Because you could start with 1 light bulb to supply as well.
Yeah. Whereas 6 iron is 2 trains.
Yeah.
And what's two trains going to get me? Oh, it's going to get me
4
influence on the board. Or do I just go for this, which is 2, 4, 6? That's 8 points. Now,
what's that one say?
2 points for each of this line that you've crossed with these markers. Not these, just these. So because I've crossed 1, 2, 3, 4 of them, that would be 8 points. If I was to do my coal first, then it would actually be 10 points. But I don't think I'm going to do my coal. So, yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to take this one, which is an immediate 8 points. It goes in there, and that's it. That's my go done, I think. Yeah.
Well, I want to consolidate.
Okay.
But I also want to run my factory because I've got 5 coal, and I don't.
Yeah.
You'd lose
if I consolidate, I lose it. So if I run my factory, I
That's
have to take a black worker, and that's
And
a different colour. So it's going to lose me a bit of money.
Cool.
But I might as well do that. So I'm going to run this factory with 4 coal.
yeah, getting you three clocks.
Oh, that was a great move for me.
Right.
It's the future. I've seen it.
Clocks.
Going to make Japan great.
I guess they're industrialised made cloths. So I am going to take this blue worker to run my factory. I have 7 coal, which is 4 and 3.
Wow.
Both of them
So that's
get...
three light bulbs and 3 lenses.
Yes.
I'm definitely falling behind here.
We'll see. We'll see. I don't know where I'm putting them yet. I should be
Okay.
thinking about that.
Well, I'm going to build
actually.
some machines. Spend 5 grand. I'm going to build this machine into here. And that unlocks that bonus, which gets me 2 silk. Done.
Consolidate.
Okay, which you have to do.
Yeah.
So you get...
So I throw away
lose
my
your
money.
You then get
Throw away my
19.
coal.
19 minus 9.
1, 2, 3, 4 colours. 19 minus 12.
Grey, red, white, black. Oh, yeah. So you get 7 money.
7 money. But I get a bunch of coal.
You get 5 coal. And then you get a grey bonus and a black bonus.
So grey is 2 iron. And black is 2 coal. Even better.
You get to place your
Lovely.
super scoring marker. What are you going to put it on?
Maybe this one.
If you did that, it would currently be worth 12 points.
So
with a high possibility of you getting up to 20. Okay, Becky.
Okay, so
I can feel that final countdown is approaching.
So I'm going to be supplying.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the blue worker.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, here we go. What
yes. Right. So, talk you through it entirely.
Yeah.
So there's no point in me replacing my own light bulb
unless you wanted the 6 back.
I could replace you, but I'm not sure it's really worth it. Here I could do that light bulb, but then I wouldn't be able to use the magnifying glass, which narrows it down to these two. This one I'm winning, but only slightly.
Well, you're second to the overseas companies.
Okay.
At the moment.
Yes. So I could do that, and then that one, which is a lot of points at the end. So I could either. Oh, there's this one. So that one would give me 6 money. That one would give me 4 coal. With 4 coal, I could run this again and get the 4 and the 3 out. But I can't put cotton in one place twice because we figured that out earlier.
Mm-hmm.
That's not cotton though, is it? That's magnifying glasses. Can't put magnifying glasses in two places either.
Yeah.
I'm already there though.
Yeah.
I suppose yeah. So I suppose I'm probably, what do I do? Make sure I beat the overseas companies for 6 points and then come back to that area later. But then I've got even more money I don't know what to spend on before I consolidate, which is what I really want to do next. Okay, we'll go here anyway, and then I'll think about it in a moment. So that's that.
So what have you played? You played 3 lenses.
Yep.
For the 5 and 3 light bulbs for the 7.
Yeah, and
so that's all of your commodities gone, and you get 6 money. You definitely won that region.
I'll be over here wishing I could buy coal with money.
Yeah. Don't forget to spend your goods.
Oh yes, good point.
Okay. So, what am I going to do? Can't really supply. I mean, I could supply there. That's specific. I could put 1 cotton here. Not really worth it. Yeah, it's kind of fizzled. So I will take this great worker. I will run factories. I've only got 4 coal, so I spend that 4 coal, and I get 2 clocks. So probably got 4 or 5 turns left each, and that's it.
What am I going to do with all this coal? Which factories do I want to run? Interesting questions.
Oh, is that insane? That's insane, but it could just work.
You can't consolidate because you haven't got any workers. So that's one option removed. What are you thinking about, Robert?
I might as well deliver some of this and then make some more of them.
It's 3 clocks.
Yeah.
It's a 7.
So if I pick up one of those guys, let's pick up a white worker. And I'll deliver these 3 clocks.
You can do 1, 2, or 3. And you could do the 1 and then the 2.
Right, I see.
So
yes.
you could put your 5 down and then immediately replace it with a 6 if you wanted to.
Is anyone else making clocks?
I am. I've got 2 of them.
Yeah.
So I could only put a 6 down.
Right.
And I've no coal to run again.
That's worth a try then, yeah. So where should I send my clocks to? 3. Miles behind in there.
I'm going to start a poll.
Where should Robert send his clocks to?
Where should Robert deliver his clocks to?
It's 8 for pink, 6, and I'm on 5. So if I sent there, I would definitely take the lead. And that's a really good idea. So I'll send 1 clock to here and put my 5 down.
Right, the poll has started. Please vote on who you think is going to win.
2 clocks for a 5 icon.
No?
Oh, sorry.
1 clock for a 5.
So that's 1 clock.
Have a moment again.
And then I'm going to send 2 clocks to put the 6 down.
Getting an extra
2 silk.
So that gets me 4 silk.
Yeah.
And I got my 5 back.
Trick with some of these moves. Okay.
4 of the 5 spaces have 1 worker left.
Right. So, I might need to count the number of moves I've just planned then. Because I'm going to do that. Then that. But will it really pay off? We consolidate at the end.
At the end of the game, everybody gets a mandatory consolidation.
Okay. I'm going to buy factory. So my forgot what that was called. Research and R&D is 5. So I'm going to spend 1 silk to make it 6. 6 money, and I'm going to buy this one that gives me 2 iron.
For every machine you currently have, so you get 8 iron.
8 iron.
And 8 is the maximum of that anyway.
And
so
I figured that is the best way to get iron.
that's a lot of
So
iron.
I've done all of that just for iron. There we go, that's me.
Okay. So whichever one I take is going to remove is yeah. So I don't know what I want to do now. I've kind of lost track a little bit. I mean, I've no money, so I can't do that, can't do that, can't do that. Could supply contract, but not sure I want to. It's going to get me a few extra points, but not many. I mean, that's actually quite good. Those 2 are actually quite good for me. But I can't do both of those. So I can't do that, can't do that, can't do that, can't do that. So it's this or consolidate. So I'm going to do this. Take that worker, and we are going to use 2 clocks. 2 clocks is a 6.
Where are you going with that?
Well, there's the thing.
This is actually worth doing.
Doing the
My massive plan worth
so
doing.
I'll put my clocks there. Can I also deliver? Which blocks? It would block that off if I went there. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to put the clocks there. Blocks that off. And then I'm going to deliver 1 cotton there, which now blocks that off.
Oh,
So I get 6 money.
We're really running out of space.
We are, yes. Right, that's it. I delivered some goods. That ended up being better than I thought, I think.
So you have 7.
I have 7 there.
I
You
think
have
I'm okay there.
8, 13. You have 15.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have 2.
We've only got 7 people who voted. We've got 55 people watching and only 7 people have voted. Get those votes in.
What did
I'm
you vote
going
for?
to-
They're voting on who they think's going to win. But only 7 people have voted.
And who
I'm
do you
going to-
think's gonna win?
Well, at the moment, I mean, 7 votes is not enough, really. But
Right.
Paul, 14%. Robert, 38%. Becky, 50%. Yeah, that's where my vote would be.
I don't know. This isn't.
Not me. I wouldn't be voting for me.
Well, that's completely wrong because I'm going to buy a factory.
Changes everything.
Because I've got that thing there. If I get to up to there,
Yeah,
that's 20
that's
points. So
better.
that's a really good idea.
What's your R&D
So
level?
it
5.
makes. So I need to
You need
spend 1 silk.
Yeah,
that's fair enough.
That's fine.
Yeah.
1 silk.
So
Which
I
one do you
haven't
want?
got a light bulb factory yet, so that's quite good.
That
I
would
get
be
3
5
goods.
points.
3 goods on different factories.
And that one, what does that do?
When you consolidate, if you place your large token, you get to build a
So I'll
machine
have this one.
absolutely free.
I'll have this one. So that means I get to place 3 of these on 3 different places, which could include that.
Yes.
That seems like a good deal. Have a light bulb. And then let's put 5.
Did you take a worker?
Ah, sorry.
You haven't taken a worker, have you?
No, I didn't. So I should have taken that red worker.
Yeah. So now we're into the final 3, aren't
And
we?
is your turn done?
When I've decided where to put these
Okay.
things, so that's going to produce that. Let's put that there.
Looking at the numbers you have, you definitely want it to be. Unless you replace. I'll just shout now.
Yeah.
It's a piece of coal in the
Put
worker
that
pile.
there.
Don't know what that was doing in there.
Right.
Okay, so just to explain, for those people that have born with us to this point, what's going to happen is, because we've just done the refresh here, that marker moves to here. So this marker is given to the player to the left of Robert, because Robert's the one who triggered it, so it goes there. So what's going to happen is we now have 3 turns each. So at the start of Becky's next turn, this is going to move to there, and then the start of Becky's third turn, it's going to move to there, and then when it's Becky's go again, before she takes a turn, we end the game. So we now have 3 turns each, starting with Becky and ending with Robert. So the player who triggered the end will take the final turn in the game.
Right. So
Okay.
I set myself up to build 3 trains, but now I'm looking at the numbers on the board and I'm thinking it won't change any of the areas.
This is what you did last night. You built 2 trains and it didn't change much.
Become a more secure second
Okay.
in that area.
Yeah.
So I've got to keep an eye on Robert's goods. I mean, I've got no coal, so I can't. It's too late for me to turn down the producing things and getting them out track. What else could I focus on? I could focus on pushing. That would be 8 points if I push that up. That one's all right. That'd be 5 if I push that up, but that's not simple to do. That's too far away to try. I could get another cog out. I could get another cog out in some way that also allows me to get my big flower out.
It's 20 points.
I'm also in the awkward situation, aren't I, that I'm going to do 1 worker.
You are going to consolidate on your third turn.
Yes.
Unless you consolidate before.
Yeah, so I'm going to have to consolidate in one of my last 3 rounds of the game.
Yeah.
Which
Same
is sucky. Right. So I definitely think that's worth doing with a big flower.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to go there and do something else and then consolidate. Or no. So then I I was wondering if because I could got all this steel, if I built a boat, I could then consolidate with big flower 1 round quicker.
Yes, because you'd get the expert worker.
I wouldn't be able to get high enough to actually get a flower out in the last round, but I think that might be my best option. So
Boats it is then.
I'm building a boat.
Okay.
I can't build multiple boats because I don't have a space for that, so that's fine.
No.
It's going to be some of these guys. 2 victory points or 2 more. I'm going to take the silk, also more money. So is there any point in building? Oh, and then I lose all this money. So I might as well use the money if I've got all this iron. So what do I want?
Where do you want to go?
Yeah. I mean, the red would keep it simple. Resources, every two is
Every
worth a victory
2
point?
resources is worth a point, and every 6 money is worth a point
Yeah.
at the end of the game.
I mean, though, I could, if I take the yellow one, I'd get 4 points at a cost of 3 money and 3 silk. So that's worth doing, as long as I don't think I'm going to do something really good with my money in the next round. Or did we just decide I was doing with my money? Buying one of those.
Yes.
But I think I've got enough going to do that. I'm going to do that. Okay. So I'm going to take the yellow guy, the yellow doodad. I'm actually placing about.
New York.
Yeah.
And that'll cost you the 5 money and the 1 iron.
Yeah. It would be nice if I'd.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I could. Is that worth doing? I've got so. Actually, hang on. I might build a second bow.
You can't, because you've no space. For
Okay,
the
then
expert
never mind.
worker.
Carry on.
Yeah, and when you build bows, they have to be in different places. So you couldn't just build the same one.
Yes.
So I'm going to take this grey worker, I'm going to put it there, I'm going to spend 6 money, I'm going to move this marker 1, 2, 3 spaces, which unlocks that. You'll go.
I'm going to spend 3 money to go 2 steps on that track, which means I need to pick up one of a yellow or a grey. So let's have a... Let's have a yellow. Which means I spend 3 money to go 2 steps. That frees up my other number 7.
Mm-hmm.
Done.
Okay, start of Becky's turn. Tick.
So I'm consolidating.
Okay.
So I'm going to get 15 plus 5 money minus 9 money, which is 11 money. That one gets wiped.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to get 5 coal. So that's 5 coal. I had no coal.
Yeah, 4 points.
I do, yes. And then that goes back over
That goes
there.
back to New York.
Please get back in the bag.
Okay. I am also consolidating. So I get 20 money minus 6. So I get 14 money. And I get 4 coal. And then I get red bonus and grey bonus. So I get 2 iron. I get 2 silk. And I get to place this.
And I did that.
So what? Where's this going to go? It's got to go here. It's the only other thing that I've done. So, Robert, your penultimate turn.
Let's run some factories. So I need to pick up this grey one.
So I've got 1 turn left.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think so.
I need about 6. Can I have 6?
So
Oh dear. Oh dear.
I run my clock factory. That's quite a good idea.
It's such big plans.
That makes 3 clocks. And
That
then
was
I've got 3 remaining. So I can run that one or that one. Yeah, so I'll run the bento factory for 3 coal to make 2 bento boxes, 2 crates of bentos. That's me done.
Okay. Final turn of the game.
Yep. Okay. So I have to go there to build a cog. So if I take that's perfect. You still
Because
get,
you'll get 4 points for it. Yeah.
So 5 money, 1 cog. That's me.
Well, ideally, I want to get that to there. Because if I get that to there,
You get
that's 20 points. But I could do that by doing something that puts a white worker here, which means when I consolidate, I get to move it. But the only places with a white worker is that.
Which means you've got goods.
I don't have any.
Yeah.
I can't.
And you're not allowed to do it if you
So I can't do it. So my other option is to take one of those just to do that. But that's a 10-point move.
Mm.
If I built a factory, that would only be a 2-point move.
Mm.
But the factory would allow me to build 2 trains. Would a train make any difference to the board? Here I'm on 6. it would put me joint second with you here. Here it wouldn't make any difference. Here it wouldn't make any difference. Here it wouldn't make any difference. So building 2 trains, not that useful. I think I've just got a very weak last turn.
Yeah, oh, that's a pity.
Yeah, I think I literally take the blue worker, spend 1 money, and move my R&D marker 1 space. It seems weak, but it's a 10-point move.
Alright, I think Robert's last turn is going to make up for both of us.
Okay, what you going to do?
So I got lots of stuff to send to the local market.
You could pass. It's a new action. It's never been done before. Concede.
So that one's 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
I got a 5. So this 5 could be used for that or that. Those.
Yeah. That's whether you want
The 7 can be
or
used
low
for
roll.
those.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
I didn't need to free up that 7. So so I might as well take a
So you've already got
Right.
red matters.
might as well take a red
Yeah,
one.
because that's going to get you 3 silk when you consolidate.
Yep. So I'm planning to deliver either a 7-point thing for clocks.
And a 5 for bento or a 5 for light bulbs.
Yes.
So you need a region where you can do both of those
I
things.
think there's one obvious winner.
If I deliver the clocks here, then it frees up a 5.
Yeah.
And then I can do. But then they all have to go through
But
the
you're
same
already-
region.
But then you can put the
winning.
5 back here.
But he's already winning.
You're already winning, so it's
Yes,
not going to change
it
anything.
doesn't-
It
Yeah,
will just
that's
give you the code.
That's not
Yeah,
the
I
one
don't
where
need
it
the
matters.
call that much. So I want to zoom ahead, and that's quite nice, isn't it?
That's the one that makes all the difference in.
So if I go, if I do the three bentos,
Yeah,
3 clocks,
3 clocks, which is your 7, what, here?
has to be.
that's good.
Oh, unfortunately, that means you can't do light bulbs.
Yeah.
That would close off the light bulbs.
But you're now on
Ah.
10 and Paul's on 8, so you've still won.
Okay,
That's all
Okay.
that matters. Save the other
You
stuff.
can't beat anyone on
and then
bento.
this,
You could. Oh, it doesn't matter because you've
I
already
can put
won.
my, it gets me iron. So each time I deliver there,
Oh, yeah.
I get iron.
So
So I'm sending 3 of these.
So
So
you
these
can
half a
pick-
point as well?
that one off.
Goods are worth half a point. So if
Yeah,
you're
so
winning
it's-
it, there's no point sending
Right.
any more.
Okay.
Yeah. No, but at least you won.
Well,
there,
unless
yeah.
you wanted the 2 thing. So you're spending 2 goods to get 2 iron, which is a point for a point. It's-
Yeah.
Right, we're all done?
Yep.
So we do final.
So we got this run last night, didn't we? So we want to do
We did. We do this
area
first.
scoring first.
Yes, and then we do our our own
Yeah.
goods. So let's go here. So the overseas companies are gone. Hey, they're not supplying any goods anymore. We have Robert supplying 11 influence. So you get first place, which is 26 points. So
97.
yeah, 97. Second place is Becky with 8 influence, which is 20, putting you on 97. And then me, third place, getting me 14, 68. Right, region 2. Robert's in there with 10. 10 is the
Yeah.
most, which is what, 26?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 123. Second is me, so I get 20, putting me on 88. Third place is Becky, 14.
I just have
So
3.
111. Right, region 3. Issue 2.
You get a lot of points for being third.
You do.
There wasn't a lot of effort.
So 8, 10, which is more than the overseas company.
Yeah.
Becky's 5, which is third.
Damn!
So Robert gets 26, Becky gets 14.
Shoot. He's running away with this. So 23 plus 26 is
49.
9.
And 14 for you.
25.
None for me. And then in this region, Becky's got 7, 8, 10, 15. So you get 26 points.
51.
I'm second with 7. Oh, no,
20.
down here. 20. Okay, and then third is Robert with 2. The overseas companies have gone. So another 14.
points.
1, 2, 3, 4, Right, so that is the scoring for the main board, which I did say at the start of the video was very important. And now we all have to do a final consolidation. So I lose all of my money and all of my coal.
Consolidation.
But then I get 20 minus 3, so I get 17 money.
Damn, I've got so much money in coal.
And I get 4 coal.
Okay.
Oh, and it was a blue
19
worker, so I get
money
another 5.
minus 12 is 7.
You get your red bonus and your white bonus.
That's 3 silk, and the white bonus.
Doesn't matter.
That track or that track.
Yeah. You do get to place that.
That's nice.
Okay, so I'm going to show you my player board. We're going to end the poll now because we are
Yes, should be
finishing.
obvious.
So we only had 16 people vote, but thank you very much to the 16 people who voted. What we've got is we look at my boats. So I reached this point and I used my level 3 favour marker, so I get 20 points for this. So the ships for me is 20 points. I'll do mine first. So I go to 128.
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to do that. Right, next I've got the little seed and I've reached here. So that's just 5 points. 5 points for my machines. Trains, I didn't put a scoring marker down, so I get nothing. This is worth 20 because I got to here. So that's 20. This, I didn't put a scoring marker down. This, I put a medium one down and I got to here. So that's 8. This is a medium one and I got to here. So that's 18.
1. 77.
Okay, and then this is my large scoring marker and I got to here, so I get 20. So 20, so 97.
Yeah.
So I win the game with 100 and... What?
I think you forgot to count your resources.
Oh, I forgot to count my resources. Thank you. So every 6 money is a point. So that's 1, 2, 3, and then every 2 resources. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Another 10 points. So what's that? 207. That's less than I got last night. And that would be the winning score. Unfortunately, we have your final scoring as well. So Robert, do you want to do yours first?
Right, yes.
What about your
ships? Nothing.
Nada.
Cogwheels.
Yep.
I've got the small scoring, so 10 points. The small.
You didn't get to there.
Oh, sorry.
So
right.
just 5.
5. Yeah.
Trains, nothing.
Nothing.
R&D,
Maximum
20.
20. This
Mining.
one, I've got the middle thing, so I got up to here, so that's 8 points.
Okay.
This is the small one, and I've got up to there, 5 points.
Okay.
Then this is the large one,
20.
factories, 20 points.
Yeah.
And contracts is the medium size, 9 points.
Okay, I mean, I caught up quite a lot, but you need your 200 marker there.
Ah,
And now your resources. Are you going to score exactly what you scored last night? I think you might be.
I think so.
How many points you got?
Right, so that's a point.
Yeah.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5. That is almost
Oh, and
exactly
it's
what you
good.
scored last
6,
night. Oh, yeah.
7.
7. Can I
8.
combine these?
Yeah, I could last
8.
night.
Yeah. I think that might be exactly what you scored last night.
Really?
Okay.
Right, come on, Becky.
Oh gosh, I've got a long way to go.
Where are you?
I don't know.
This is my marker.
Okay.
We've been using the wrong marker, have we?
You put a 200 out.
What have we done?
I think you've moved me around. So
Oh.
we can figure out what you scored from your board. We go backwards.
Is anybody in the chat saying I've moved the wrong marker? No, because the purple and the pink look a bit similar.
Okay. Right, so
it was 10 points from resources.
okay, so if this one goes back 10 and that one goes forward 10. 97. That was me that did that, wasn't it? So this is all my fault.
Yeah, we're not quite sure if we've done this right or not, but we'll work it out. This was 5.
Why have you started halfway up? Starting.
I started that. I did that one. Did we do that one? I did the 20.
Oh, you started with resources.
I started with resources.
Yeah.
Have we just done the resources?
Yes.
Okay, 20.
Right, 20. 77.
Then another 5.
We need to change one of those.
Yeah,
to a pink
when we
marker
get
at
to
some
the
point.
end, this one will
Okay.
turn to. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
This one nothing. This one 20.
You sure you were this far back? It doesn't seem right.
I don't know.
52.
I'll tell you what. I'll scrub back on the video, and I'll find out what my score was before my end of game scoring. If you just want to work out what your end of game scoring is, and we'll add that to what it was.
All right.
My end of game scoring was 10, 30, 35, 55, 63, 63, 73, 81, 101. Okay. So my end of game scoring was 101.
Someone write that down.
I will scrub back on the video and find out what I was before end of game scoring. Apologies for this. Yes, if there's only some kind of recording that you could check, there is. I'm going to do that.
Someone remember 101. Right. So I scored 8 for my ships. Plus, no, I didn't because there's no flour there. That's a great start. I scored 20 for my machines. I scored 20 for my R&D. 8 with the middle flour for my coal. So that is 48. Nothing for that one. And 16 for that one. So 48 plus 16 is 64. That sounds about right. 64. Okay, compared to Paul's 101, it might be in trouble. Oh, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, so 73.
Just watching it back. Unless anybody else has watched it back and has told us. We seem to be pointing at various sides of the board. I think we're talking about influence still. Yeah, I'm now pointing at my board. So at the point I point at my board, I've got there. I've got 108. Is that right?
That's 108. Yeah.
So that's after we scored the area.
Yeah. So I was on 108, and add to that.
Weirdly enough, that's
101.
Exactly where you are now.
So it's 209.
Yeah.
209. Right, Becky, your score was.
Or right in the corner.
Yeah, right in the corner. It was 51. I think. Yeah, it was 151. And what did you score?
73.
73. So 1, 2, 3, and so 224. So 214.
73. Right? 54 would be 24, wouldn't it?
224. Yeah.
Okay.
And then Robert, do we think we did yours okay?
I think
maybe
you were on 160.
We might as well check.
Yeah, we might as well check. You were on 163.
Okay.
And then
you scored.
I'll count this up
So
again.
that was 5.
5.
That was 20.
25.
That was 8.
33.
Yeah.
Plus 8 is 33.
That's an extra 5.
Plus 5.
48.
38. Plus 20 is 58. Plus 9.
67.
67.
And then 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75.
75.
So
What did you
1,
do?
2, 3, 4, 5. And then 70 onto there is 238.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So we're done.
Yep.
Robert wins again.
Shall I tell you what my strategy is?
238. Go on if you have
My
a strategy.
strategy is get stuff out there.
It is
soon,
getting stuff out.
because being third gets you a fair amount
Yeah.
of points.
It does. 10, 8, 6,
So,
18,
in
14,
some
10.
places-
Third place is more than half of what first place gets.
Yeah.
So even if you're third, it's still good.
So my strategy was get stuff out on the board for the when you're supplying goods to Japan, the local markets.
Yeah.
Get it on the board, and then you might score it 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
done.
I mean, I was really happy. I think my end of game scoring was the best.
Oh yeah, by a long shot. Wasn't
I
it?
got 101, you got
73.
73, you got 75.
75.
So yeah, I did really good at this, but that 25 points was not enough to catch up. So we have 238, we have 224, and we have 209 are the scores.
Okay.
And we're done. Because it's a sponsored video, we're not going to be able to tell you our thoughts and our personal opinions on the game. As I mentioned earlier, I will be sharing them with my patron supporters. But tonight's video was just to show you how the game plays. We were just shy of 3 hours tonight, but a lot of that was me explaining the rules as we went along. I'm pretty sure you can play this, and I have played this in 2 hours. 3 players, 2 hours, no problem. Once you all know the rules and you know what you're doing, it's very short, snappy decisions. And yeah, I hope the pace of the game came through. I certainly feel that the last 3 hours has been an absolute rush. At no point did I feel, I can just, take a step back and do this. It's the driving force of the way that this clock is ticking just feels really, really fast paced. And they've updated the game. They've obviously taken on board, it's been nearly 10 years. Well, it's 10 years since the original game came out. I don't know how long Nuno and Paolo have been working on this new version, but the main tweaks to the game for me are the startup conditions. So it isn't the same for everybody now. There is a variable startup. We've got the way that ships work, which is very different with the expert workers. And what you've not seen in this version of the game is you've not seen the B-side of all of the factories. So I think there's going to be a B-side to all of the factories, which means there's going to be a huge amount of variability. But these number 5 factories are interesting. They're actually called late game factories. Now, it doesn't mean you have to wait till the late game to build them. It means that their benefit is better in the late game. Although those are good early on.
Yeah, although those aren't the late game factories.
Oh, they're not the late game factories.
No,
no. So yeah, there's
that was one I think you built.
There's a fair amount of variability with it, but yeah, we're all done. So thank you very much to you two for playing last night and for joining me today. Thank you very much to everybody for watching, and that is the last video for this week. It's been a busy week with lots of videos on the channel, but this is the last one. And for those of you who are having a bank holiday weekend, then have a good bank holiday weekend, and I'll be back next week with some more content. Thanks again, take care, we'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.